Lex Bud.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
What's going on with you, man?
I see that hair looking all perfect.
You know what
Put
I'm saying?
nothing but the finest juices and berries in there. I see you.
You feel me? Yeah, young flourishment. How you feeling, man?
Shit. Feel better today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to put you down, huh?
Man. They tried.
Yeah, it's been hella folks catching symptoms. Not quite the vid, but like folks with like just hella different random symptoms.
Yeah. And honestly, around this time I usually do get like a cold or something. I don't know what it is, but around this time I always get something. So
Yeah.
but I was like, but the disrespectful thing is everybody hitting me. Oh, were you the one that brought the COVID from Africa? I'm like, nigga.
You pipeline that joint in. It would be the American that brings it in, man.
Like, first you niggas want to call me Nas because I was talking about niggas need to go back to Africa. Now I'm a super spreader. That's what we do.
Man, you can have it all, man.
How about you? How you doing?
The world is yours. Everything's on you. Cool, man. Cool. I'm good. Just fucking unpacking, man. I don't even feel like doing
that shit.
Yeah, I don't even feel like doing it. I've been looking at boxes for this past week.
Like, I'll just get a salad from Trader Joe's. I don't feel like taking it.
Hey, for real. Like, I made like I usually do like meal prep and shit like this. So I made like the usual meal prep or whatever for the week. But yeah, as far as like full on grocery shopping or even like just unpacking shit, like I literally just been grabbing shit out of a box, and it's the worst because I'm doing shit ass backwards. So I remember like I packed it a certain type of way because I was like, it's either like quick grabs I could be able to do throughout the week, so I'll be fine while I'm trying to get everything situated. All that shit goes out the window and day of. Like day of is like jumping from box to box, turning shit upside down, throwing shit around.
Niggas swear they got a system till they don't.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Really test that motherfucker in the field, boy. That shit done.
Nigga, I've been hiding money from myself. I found $20. I'm too broke not to know where money is, bro. That's stupid.
Hey,
that's
I
absolutely
still do
stupid.
That. I got 4 pair of keys that like my savings account.
Like I understand hiding money when you up, nigga, but hey, man, fuck out of here. What do you got going on?
Sticker hiding spaces for rainy day.
Man,
it was raining, my nigga.
I was fucked up one day. It was like, nigga, what? Oh, that's a 20 right there. I know what a 20 feel like without looking at it. I know what a 20 feel
I know what a 20 feel like.
I know what a 20 feel like.
I know what a 20 feel like when I look at it. It's crazy.
No, without looking at it, nigga.
Without looking at it.
Like, yeah, I know what that is right there. What's up, B?
Hey.
You holding on? How you doing?
I'm all right.
What's up, yo? Hey, it's funny because you're roll a 20 a certain type of way.
For real. Just so I don't get this confused, because niggas be moving fast.
20s get that 4-piece roll. Oh yeah, that's a 20 right there. I folded that one 4 times.
I want to keep that just in the palm of my hand right here.
You know what I'm saying? Like a quick, when something comes out the 1950. I got that.
Lex, how you doing? You feeling okay?
Feeling better today.
When did you start feeling bad?
Like Thursday.
Africa done caught up with you.
See, look at it. What I just say, L?
You brought that shit back, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I got 13 texts and 16 phone calls about that. See, this is what happens when you think you Nas. You want to go to Africa and shit.
Niggas, you know, niggas can't let you be great for too long. Like at some point, they gotta come back on bullshit.
Like,
see, I told that nigga it wasn't gonna work.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been back 2 weeks now, so you full American again.
I'm saying, you know,
we can get off.
How Will breaks down success in the book, where he's like average people have a love-hate relationship with your success. I was like, this nigga's a sicko for real, but like,
bro, like, hey, that nigga was,
if you thought
that nigga Jim's was like this, because I think folks get it twisted that that's not a nigga from Philly.
Yes, I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that niggas got him fucked up for real, and he was there to dead all that shit. He said, "See, the problem is with regular people, they got a love-hate relationship with your success. They can't wait to see you fail." I was like, "Wait a minute, you fucking sick person. That's why you're successful, because you're crazy. He's absolutely crazy,
really crazy though, like really a sicko."
Ooh. Oh,
him and Jada though. Him and Jada sicko. So if Jada had a memoir, bro, I don't even know what the hell going that thing.
Oh no, please believe it's coming after this shit.
Yeah, nah, they gotta run that one up.
Yeah, they done stumbled into a whole new bag, man. Y'all topics is fucking with it this week, y'all. I'm not mad.
They the first family of details, man.
Intricacies.
You know, no stone is left unturned. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually one of my topics.
Yeah, I saw that over there. I was like, yeah, that's a good one to get to. That's a good one.
How's your new place?
Good. I was telling Alexa, I'm over here living out of boxes right now. I'm a little afraid to even really go into them like that.
You don't know what you put in there?
I mean, I remember I put everything in there that was in my old spot, but I don't know what I'm doing with now. Because my thing is just getting everything situated the way I want to. So I'm not going to like do anything prior to then. So I already ordered a few things and, you know, getting rid of some things and all that shit. So
are you like a minimalist vibe?
Yeah, I'm trying to go real minimalist this time around. So like I got rid of hella shit that I had accumulated. I was low-key hoarding. Low-key.
For real? I can't imagine that with you.
Nah, like my hoarding wasn't like material things. It was like hoarding shit from family, because I wasn't speaking to folks like that. So like I would have like hella shit that was like handwritten and like all kind of different deals. I'm like, bro, get rid of this shit. Like this shit is just taking up hella space. Like you got hella boxes and shit of this. Let it go. What you eating on, yo? That look good as hell.
It's a banana.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say, yo, the big chumping.
I need to get yesterday was the first day I've done like a all day drinking experience in the last like however many years of life.
Shit, different, fam.
Woo.
Day drink.
I'm not built for it.
They're built very different. I mean, these people started at 10 a.m. I left at 10 and they was going to the next spot to then go so that they can do something until they needed to go to the strip club. Ooh, and I was like, y'all, I don't got it in me. I don't got it in me, bro.
Hey, I remember my wheels wheel used to spin like that. But now I got a strong 4 of me. You know what I mean? Like I can go tough for 4 hours, you know what I'm saying? Or do you want to spread this 4 hours out? Like which LG do you go?
Take your pick.
I want the peanut butter spread LG, you know what I'm saying?
Peanut butter spread is sick.
Yo, can I say I had a moment yesterday? I love Black people, but sometimes they be ready to argue about shit and I'd be like, bruh, you just ignorant in this moment. We was out and this girl was like arguing with the waitress because she had ordered French toast and it was a hazelnut French toast. The hazelnut was Nutella.
Mm.
She didn't know what Nutella was. So when she got her French toast, she's arguing with her, being like, I didn't tell you to put no motherfucking chocolate on my French toast. And we keep being like, hey, bro, you need to chill. Like, let me explain to you. She's like, no, fuck this, dude. And we kept being like, that is hazelnut. Like, this is Nutella. And she would just go in bed. And I was like, dang, this is one of those moments where I feel bad for this little poor white server who just really just, this bitch didn't make the French toast. She don't know what's going on.
Hey.
And wouldn't listen to us, because then she got mad, and so you have to solidify your madness.
You gotta commit. You have to commit. Absolutely.
To it.
You gotta go full sicko. You gotta flip over the plate. You niggas don't know my struggle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I just let black folks go, because I don't know how far in that trauma that is. Like,
bro,
lay that one out.
Needless to say, she did not come with us to the next spot. We found a way to get away from that. I was like,
you think
free drinks with this kind of energy, bitch? What? Like,
you think she knew y'all was trying to shake her after that? She had embarrassed herself, or she was like hella unaware? Like, she think the night was over, or think the day was over?
I don't know.
Do people know when they
me on Instagram, and I don't know how, because I didn't tell her my name. So maybe she was trying to keep with the crew, but
I don't think people really be knowing.
That's what I be wanting to do. People know when they just, all right, bro, you didn't wore out your welcome for real.
Yeah. I'm like, bitch, I'm outside with a bunch of bitches. That's cute. Like, we can, do you understand what today is going to be? Like,
do you understand the possibilities of today?
Right? You know how much shit we can accomplish today? Like, what?
We could damn near take over the world if bitches had to act right together.
Hey, that's hella funny. That's hella funny. And I'm glad women think about that shit on their side too, because that's for sure how niggas. Like, you do not want to have a partner that always looking for a nigga to fight. Like, bro, you know how many women is outside, bro? What are you doing?
I hate that nigga, bro. It's hoes in here and you trying to start a fight. Nigga, put your shirt on. What are you doing?
Bro, get your hands out your pants.
Right, nobody know. Where they from, Mani? Nigga, probably they go to Stanford. They look like they go to Stanford, but they don't want no smoke. Stop it. Nah, because Blow was looking at me.
It's like, why you keep talking like this? Why you always got that?
Whoa.
I was just like, and for us, it's just like bitches with an attitude. Like, bruh, why do you have an attitude? This is probably gonna be the only thing you pay for today. Why the fuck you got an attitude? And to be honest with you, if we're gonna be keeping a
was she cute? Was she cute?
That's my thing. If we're gonna keep it a real bean, you about to get free shit off the strength of me and these bitches. So stop playing with me and act right. Like,
oh, so
okay. Now it's a fucking podcast, you guys. Here we go.
So you tell me she couldn't see ahead.
She had no vision.
She had no vision. You know what I'm saying? She was stuck in the here and now.
This is the unfortunate part, though. The ugly partner in the crew is so fucking hit or miss, because sometimes the ugly partner in the crew is hella funny and damn near like carry the whole scene, like really know her role for real. Then it's the ugly partner that's gonna blow up the whole shit, and ain't nobody getting no ass tonight, nigga. Nobody. I don't care. Nope. She just gonna ruin the whole shit.
I had a partner that just go around and recruit.
Man.
You know, the one that get your whole like Flavor Flav lineup or whatever. Like get you about 10 niggas that you could choose from.
Girl, him? Nah, she don't want it.
All right, time's up. That was 15 seconds.
You couldn't close.
You gave her your elevator pitch. All right, next nigga.
Hey, so at the live pod, we have to talk about coldest pickups we've ever witnessed in history, so I can tell my ill story. This because I've never seen nobody pull no shit off like that, and to this day, it's the most impressive pickup ever in life, nigga. B, we're in this like fucking warehouse. It's 1 million people. L, the baddest bitch in the room that whole night is walking out like niggas is standing by the door. L sticks his foot out to trip this lady. Like she goes, Blow, what the fuck? Hey man, I seen you diss every nigga in here tonight, so I had to just shoot my shot. And it worked.
I had to throw another strategy out there. Obviously, you just straighten. You know what I mean? Like you don't even hear niggas.
I seen you turn down every nigga in here tonight. What was I supposed to do? Like, that's all I could think of. I said this not gonna work. There's no way this is gonna work. And what?
That
like, okay. Okay.
It would work. I'm not gonna if you can show me confidence and humor all wrapped in one, what? You got at least 5 more minutes of my time.
Yeah,
I don't know where it's gonna go.
To the next step.
Yeah, we can see where this gets to. You might fuck it up later.
Like it might not work out, but at least we try. You know, we put an honest attempt in. But I've done that. I've done the fucking I've done the hitch thing just because I want to see if that shit actually work.
Which one?
Like a hitch when when she got surrounded by all the dudes, and then you walk up and ask her to
actually a waitress, yeah.
Give her the waitress and slid her the dough.
How did that one go? I'm interested.
Oh, that one actually did work.
Well,
because it throws out the function, and like the dudes or whatever was like, you know, like the guard. So it wasn't even like it was like just a bunch of niggas hollering at her. Like it was like she was the girl in the group or whatever, and you had to.
That made it even sicker. Then it was
you had to figure out
a bunch of niggas.
Separate her from the situation.
That's impressive.
I mean,
you just gotta go out there and try shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because that's the other thing too, is I think that there's so many men who do weird shit because they don't know how to try something. And then the weird shit comes off as like, I this feel like you doing weird shit, nigga. Like, but I would rather you just be firm in whatever it is that you're trying to do and just come and do
just
that.
Just commit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
don't do, because what I thought you was gonna say is you tripped her and you tried to catch her, and then I was gonna be like, nah, nigga, that's don't find ways to put your hands on bitches. Like that's so weird. But that I'm like, you know,
he's like, hey,
somebody
man,
5 more minutes. You know?
But it was how he said it.
I was want to break up her strut a little bit, you know.
What you expect me to do? Like she was like, she had to think about it. She's like, damn, I guess you're right.
Yeah, like it wasn't done. Like I wouldn't try to like, you know, make you fall or anything like that. It was just, I just want to throw you off a little bit. Get your attention for the one time.
Are you paying attention to your surroundings?
You know what I'm saying? Like
the worst is when it's a group of niggas and none of them will like say anything. Like they'll all stare, but they won't like. So like even yesterday, we had to say like yesterday was the Alpha's founder day. I didn't know that, so we just all went out and happened to be that day. So niggas was crazy yesterday, but there was like a whole table of them, and the whole time they just kept like watching and then doing weird shit, but no one would actually like say anything. And I was like, y'all some bitch ass niggas. Like, bruh, y'all want me to? All right, let me. I'll run this play for you.
It's been needing a little push, you know.
Do y'all, you know what I'm saying? And my crazy ass, there was one dude who was from Philly, and he was like, one of the girls in the group was just being kind of like a brat to him, and I could tell that she was thinking like very middle schoolish, like if I'm gonna be a brat, you know, he's gonna be interested, blah blah blah. So I was just like, hey, bro,
silly shit do not work.
I was like, hey, bro, that's the kind of bitch you gonna have to like, you know, choke up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She wants you to choke her and kiss her, you know, throw her around. Like, you know how the bitches be. This nigga was like, where are you from? Like, I was like, you know.
B really be throwing niggas off too. Like looking at her like, bro, you an alien.
Hey, that'll be different. You feel me?
A few of my partners listen to the show was like, bro, y'all been saying since the beginning of the show, y'all wanted a woman, but y'all wasn't gonna settle. How the fuck did y'all find her, bro? This is crazy.
And find me in the place where I'm gonna say whatever.
Whatever the fuck. Oh my gosh.
How are you the most toxic?
No, by far. It ain't even close. It's not even close.
Yeah, you won, B.
You got it. It's you.
I'm making a trophy for you right now.
Yeah, we can take a vote just to be respectful, but you definitely winning that shit.
First of all, I'm not counting the votes of other toxic niggas about what the fuck I look like, accepting y'all votes. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about no votes.
Yeah, our ballots got nixed. Yeah.
Right.
Voter suppression in this bitch. I don't
Voter
Like-
suppression like a motherfucker. That's crazy.
We'll accept it like just to appease y'all, but that's just going right in the trash.
Put y'all votes. And also, I mean, low-key, I feel like part of the reason is that some of y'all are a little more calculated about what you do and don't say. That's really what it is.
Damn. You know, I feel like you taking shots first.
Coffee, anyone?
I was about to say for 5 seconds, I thought she was taking a
Coffee.
shot. I was like, I guess she's just gonna keep it going.
This was okay.
That's what we're doing at 10:30 a.m.
12:30, I'm good. I've been up.
Oh yeah, okay.
This a family show, fam. What you doing? What you trying to prove?
While he's smoking the blood.
Right.
It's a family. Hey, it's a family show. Steve made me call Steve Harvey.
Hey, for real.
Did you get lined up again, Mani? You just out here?
Be mind your business.
You confident
See?
as a motherfucker. Okay.
Money be sneaking it in.
Shout out to Deucey Smoulier, the best barber in the land. Deucey Smoulier. Brookfield Deuce can do it all
today, huh, Mani? You about to say some crazy shit.
Some crazy shit. Don't let me put these shades on, nigga. This Richmond sun start peeking through, nigga. I might put these sunglasses on. It might get crazy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nigga with a haircut is liable to do anything.
He can't be trusted. He can't be. He cannot be trusted. A nigga with a fresh cut is liable to say and say anything.
I'll be like, nah.
I feel like that's how Obama won the presidency. You didn't never see him without a fresh cut.
He kept his shit. He in his rider was his barber, nigga. He get 1,000 a day. What we doing? He the reason we gonna win this because my speech gonna come off A1 because my fade tight. What are you saying? Nigga, we had a nigga with a taper in the White House. Obama wore a taper in that fucking first year, bro.
And they ain't had a barber in the White House.
That's what we was saying. 1,000 a day, G. 1,000 a day. Barber got to be on call. Durag and Murray sitting on the White House counter, nigga. What are we doing?
Like Lupe said, nigga, that's black now. You know what I'm saying? That whole White House thing, turn that motherfucker black, nigga. What you talking? Yeah, we put a basketball court in that.
And he didn't even have L's hair care regimen yet.
The first lady used shea butter, bro. What are we saying right now? Don't tell me nothing. She had shea butter in that motherfucker, bro. You know Anita Baker got played at least once in the White House. At least once.
Sure. Shit.
Weekly, if not daily.
I was about to say the whole springtime.
Sunday morning. Man.
And you know the shoes came off at the banquets.
Hey. Take your motherfucking shoes off, nigga. You know where you at. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nigga, if your auntie make you take off your shoes and she knows she got a little terrier that piss on the rug, nigga, you for sure taking your shoes off in the White House, nigga.
You already
your
know
carpet dirty, but I gotta take my shoes off. That ain't that about a bitch.
And there's at least one couch sofa that's been flipped over. There's one pillow that's been flipped over because it got a stain on it.
Nigga, these are fresh socks. Nigga, why would I take off my shoes? Nigga, put fresh socks on your carpet, on that carpet,
on that carpet.
You know
just because of the idea of it, nigga. No, I'm sorry.
So what am I supposed to do with my socks afterwards, nigga? So you tell me I'm wearing no socks home, nigga? Like I can't put those socks back in these shoes, my nigga. That ain't working out.
I do get why they do that shit in New York though. Like New York streets, nigga. I threw some shoes away one time because I didn't want to pack them in my luggage. New York's so nasty, bro. Like San Francisco got New York beat though. San Francisco got New York beat now though. San Francisco's disgusting.
It's been disgusting.
Has it? I don't know what I was thinking.
No, it's worse with the tent community now though.
B that shit. That shit different.
Do about that shit. Like it's like 4,000 tents out there. There ain't nothing you can do.
Did you guys hear the
honestly?
Hey, hold on, y'all wildin'. Introduce yourselves. This is crazy. What are y'all niggas act like y'all do a podcast? What is going on? Niggas, this ain't a work meeting, nigga.
You know what that set it off, bro. You know your name go first, bro. Once you say that, nigga starts the whole tagline.
It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I'm Mani Draper.
I am LG.
Lex BUB.
I'm V.
Welcome, family. Welcome, family. All right, now y'all can get back to the shit. We just had to introduce ourselves. That's like 20 minutes of this nigga just kicking it. It's like, oh, this is kind of tight, but we haven't introduced ourselves at all. My bad.
Bro, just a little banter.
10 community.
Yeah, nah, they got that shit everywhere. Like it's and it's like outside the establishments, and it's nothing you can really do about it. Like they got it. I think they tried to take that shit to court and they lost or some shit. Damn. About like removing them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, now you just got folks is choosing, especially in the city, because it's like supposedly prime real estate or whatever, but folks are choosing to live on the streets as opposed to like paying the high rents. So like they're just pulling up with a tent and that's where we're gonna be at, or sleeping in the car or whatever it is, but you ain't removing them from the city.
Right.
Is Oakland any better or worse regarding tents?
Hell no. Oakland is
they are cleaning shit up though, but they doing it in a gangster way. Like the right off my exit wasn't a big ass tent city, but it was just where it was. So like you be getting off the freeway, dumbass late, and somebody would literally be walking up and you can't see shit. But it was a whole community. Like what's that, Broadway? Off to the left, nigga was getting off the freeway the other day. They cleared that whole shit out, like everybody gone. But it was like niggas had built like it looked like niggas had a gym over there. They was really getting it in. Like they motherfuckers had amenities. They had amenities over that motherfucker. G. I was like, this is impressive.
No lie, the folks on the street, bro. They done accumulated some shit, bro. Like it was this one cat that put together like a art structure of bikes. Like my niggas had like hella pieces of bikes or whatever. Like, bro, that nigga was out here illustrated like motherfucker, bro.
That
like,
nigga talents. He need to be at MoMA, nigga.
That nigga put some artwork on his lawn, nigga.
Straight up. Y'all sick. We gonna do the family check-in, but we start I hate these somber note shits is just weird, bro. Rest in peace, Miss Jaquline Avant, Clarence Avant's wife. I'm so sick of this shit, bro. Like I'm so sick of this type of shit. Like I don't even know how to classify it. Apparently there's been an arrest, but this is all subject to just like even the laws that exist in the wild, nigga. Like, and there are laws for real. Like no women and no children, bro. Like, come on, like none of that bullshit. And these new niggas out here,
80-year-old woman. I was like, bro.
These new niggas out here don't have no moral, no code about them, bro. And I don't like. You supposed to have empathy and all. Fuck all that. These scum of the earth ass niggas, burn them niggas. I don't have no. In my mind, I can't even go there with you. It's not a conversation I can have about anybody accident. I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. Like that one hurts.
What happened?
For Clarence Avant. I don't know how many people have seen the Black Godfather doc
that was
on Netflix.
And that's part of the reason it rocked me so much, because that doc like blew my mind. I didn't even know who he was, and it was very like, wow, like you've done this much for Black people. Like that's crazy. Like go ahead.
That's the part B. Like so few niggas enter this world, and niggas meaning I generalize. That means everybody. I'm sorry. We had to clarify that. It's like niggas, like sometimes you use it like it's general, like it applies to everybody, and then it's like specifically men, and then it's like just Black people, and it's like, yeah, you got to listen to the inflection. So niggas, yeah, niggas generally, the whole world, usually for the most part, people enter this world and their calling or their purpose is to just serve. That's all the fuck you're supposed to do. You ain't supposed to do nothing else but serve. Clarence Avant identified that early in himself and fully leaned into that shit. He wasn't ever worried about being a nigga, like all in the videos, none of that shit. Y'all take care of that. Holla at me if y'all need anything, but otherwise y'all just figure it out. He was so good at just putting people together. Him, Quincy Jones, all them type of dudes that just play their role. and his ride or die, like the outside of being Mrs. Clarence of Jaquline Avant on her own, the philanthropy work that she was doing herself, like that's the part that hurts. And that documentary, to your point, B, I don't think most of us knew who he was prior to. Like that's what, like that film getting made and then being released the way it was, and then how it spread. Like I had 10 separate people be like, "Hey fam, you need to watch this immediately." Like, and you can't help but be moved. You can't help but be inspired. You can't help but just, reimagine what life could be if you lean into whatever you're supposed to do and just do it to the best of your abilities, how you can take care of so many people and feed so many people. Back to, we were talking about Dolph. Dolph was feeding families, and not on no turkey. The turkey drive was just for the optics, for y'all to make it make sense. Dolph was had people on payroll that were changing their lives, and by proxy changing other people's lives, bro. That shit was they had a real crazy stat about LeBron when he left Cleveland that first time he went to Miami. And there was the report, an estimate $20 million that left that community once he moved, from just how the economy works, like different jobs being generated, all this shit, and then this one person relocates himself, and then all those jobs go away. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta really just think of just like value in what people are doing, and it's just certain shit should be off limits if you ask me. But that one hurt me. I saw that, woke up to that, like first thing, was that Tuesday, B?
Yeah, it was either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Woke up to that and just stomach was fucked up the rest of the day. Like, oh man.
So basically there was a home invasion and they killed her. Yeah,
what part of LA are they in? They're not in Baldwin Hills, are they?
I don't know what part of LA.
Okay. Beverly Hills, I think.
Having a lot of
LA's turned.
Yeah, the
LA's
same
struggling
shit that's
right
going
now.
on in the Bay.
Yeah.
But it was just I don't know. It felt like that. Like it just felt like, wow, damn, like the code feels so non-existent, but also like, I don't know, just to watch his documentary, to have the response that it just triggered for me, to just be like, damn, like this person opened so many doors. He was the type of person to, like, when Black people weren't even allowed in certain spaces, when they finally were, he was making sure that they were getting the right contracts and making sure that they were in line with the right people, and being like, hey, no, like they got your money fucked up, like go back and do that. Like he just did it for so many people that we all know now to be greats. Quincy Jones
We
being
know and love
one.
Michael
And
Jackson.
to live a life like that, and to be so close on the other end of your life, he's in his 80s as well, and to have your partner taken in that way, I just can't even imagine at that age how you cope, like that shit gonna be crazy. So I don't know. When I saw that, I was like, wow, like this is what we doing? Like, and not to say that this doesn't happen every other day to people who aren't necessarily in the spotlight, and not to say that their life is any less, valuable, but it's just, I just was like, there's just certain people you almost feel to be untouchable, because you feel like we all just agree, like, hey, like we not about to kill Jay-Z. That's crazy. This nigga's doing too much. Like, why would we fuck that nigga up? Like, and to see something happen where I go, wait, what? Like, what? Wait, we need a meeting.
Right. Immediately.
Reset this fucking code, because y'all crazy right now. But it'd be life.
Yeah, man. That like set, like the Dolph shit, that a few of the attacks that have been caught on camera in the Bay. The Bay's on fire right now. It's so ill out here. And we talking like 13, 14-year-old kids strapped outside, home invasions, bipping, all the shit. And so naturally it's putting everyone on high alert. So I know the women that I know that's out here just hey, this is what time it is. This is what time I'm on. It's like it's creating this blanket of anxiousness and fear and anxiety. So walking outside is just different. Like it's just mad different. You got to escorting people to and from the lab, like, you know. So just a reminder to folks, like, it's not a be fear, high alert, living for this, but man, just really, really, really be aware, and to take an extra look, be extra cautious. Don't be mad, careless, and not because anything other than people are starving and the hyenas are out. Like we're feeling the ramifications of 2 years of just being down. Like we're feeling all that shit for real. And maybe you couldn't see it, maybe your proximity was different, whatever the fuck. But when you're in certain places, just take an extra look. And the town is one of them. Like it's weird because it doesn't seem to be any, like, I don't know. It's not any. There's an internal war happening with a whole bunch of just like people who are innocent bystanders, whatever the fuck that means. But all of it's fair game, and this sort of solidified that and just made it. And granted, it was in LA, but it's felt the same here for a little bit too. So yeah,
it has to do with cities. You know, like like it's just how cities are pasted together. Basically, is just like it's close proximity to a lot of different situations. So because of the pace, you can overlook a lot of the inner workings, and also it's like the politics behind cities as well. In order,
right.
It's a haven for big business. So you can tend to cover up a lot of the inner workings of what's taking place. And then just try to guard like wherever the money is located at. But of course, that leaves a lot of people on the outs, to kind of fend for themselves. And that kind of goes into the topic that I had on the that was interesting to me, was just like that. Because of what was going on in Oakland, or it's going on in Oakland right now, they was offering like a signing bonus for people to join OPD. So new recruits, a 20 grand signing bonus, and then transfers from other departments to come, or like other locations to come into OPD, 50K signing bonus.
Jesus Christ.
And if you think about all the resources that were used for that sting in Alameda, that's kind of the hype that the police force is on. So I'm thinking of that number and I'm like, that's taxable money. Good luck getting people. Like, you'll probably get some of like the KKK in that motherfucker. Probably like you'll get like the folks that's really here to like, pick off, some inner city folks. But as far as like for where things are heading, you make a lot more money in the illegal drug trade and all the other shit that's going on, being a part of the problem by looking the other way. But also like when things happen, taking your cut and getting your retirement. So like you make a lot more money off of that than what the signing bonus is. So that's like the obliviousness, I would say, to what's going on. But then again, I think about political figures, and they got really 2 years to really push their agenda before they're on to their next project. So there's so many things that are a part of this equation that if it eventually falls off, the scraps fall off, and that's the shit that we got to deal with. But like Mani was saying, man, you just gotta shit. I mean, if you stay prayed up, and pay attention to your surroundings. But yeah, we in that time right now.
Stay your ass at home too. All this Christmas, fuck Christmas. Like out shopping, nigga. Hey, Amazon had that shit sent directly to them, bro. Sign that Christmas card and be done with it. All that, but being outside, being a lick, like it just ain't worth it. And it's all consumerism, capitalism, all that shit. It's like it ain't worth nobody's life. On both ends, material shit. Like people are dying over nothing, literally, and it's hard to make peace with that shit. Like niggas' life ain't worth more than some Gucci slides. Like that's it. That's it. I think that's been the hardest thing about this. It's talking to be walk. Shout out my dog. He listening to the show. He's like, I use the show to kind of gauge where you at. He's like, the last few episodes, bro, you didn't say some shit. And it's like, oh, okay. He's like, so tell me more. And I'm like, bro, did all this shit thinking that, you know, trying to justify or at the very least make sense of nigga's weirdo energy. And as far as music goes and like the music industry or our entertainment industry, how about that? And I thought the weirdness was it's competitive, the spots are limited, and the money's limited. That I could justify, make peace with. That kind of makes sense. Okay, cool. Scarcity. It's not a lot of money to circulate. All right, cool. You kind of get a peek in, and you go, oh, it's hella money. It's hella money here. It's hella resources here. Enough to share, like enough to put your people on for real and not be weird about it. And all of this, y'all, to find out it was never about the money. Like niggas just wanted to be famous for real or hold some sort of status in their little bubble. Like that's all they wanted. They didn't want no bread for real. It was like, oh fuck this. Well, this is even more sinister than I could have ever even imagined, because niggas ain't here for no money. Y'all just here to say you did it, just to say just because it looked cool, until it don't no more. Then you're 100% comfortable with fading into the abyss. But niggas don't want no money for real. I said, now I can't even pretend with y'all, because this is weirdo. Like you could be taking care of hella people and not directly handing nobody nothing, but just going, hey man, my man's is really great at this. I can put him in a situation. Nah, man, you can't do that. And really what it is watching how these label situations be working out. And niggas got to sign over their whole likeness and everything. So okay, ain't no just putting that. Now that shit got to get cleared and approved by 4 other niggas that just may say no because they don't want you. Nah, that's doing a favor for some people we don't have no business with. Fuck out of here. Like, all right. It's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty straightforward. And I'm just like, Lex, you really brought it to my attention when you noticed the comments from the Sue interview shit. I thought I was tripping. So I was like, let me not read those comments no more. And then Lex mentioned them last week. And I'm like, wait, are they that sick? And then somebody else hit me like, oh, damn. And it's like the idea that people that don't know me or know Push could go, oh, them niggas hella industry. All they care about is money. And it was like, wait, what? Like that's what you're getting from this dialogue. That's fucking impressive. And then you realize it is like even the self-righteous like woke niggas that's pretending like the rap activists and shit. Them niggas so fake. Them the sickest niggas for real. Because a certain status and a certain safe position comes with that, and them niggas don't ever have to do no real action for real. They don't ever have to put anything behind those words. They can just say that shit because it sound cool, or they can tweet it because it look cool and get hella impressions and everything, and they look like the safe rap activist nigga who ain't done nothing and ain't outside for real. So it's becoming all to me. All of this is wrapped into one G. So when you talking about that OPD shit, I had no idea that was going on. And now the energy around the officers makes sense too, because they outside patrolling whatever little bit of surface they got, and they energy. Them niggas is just strange. They not from here at all. They don't have any recollection or any connection to this community at all. And they seeing some of the most bugged out shit on their beat, their 12-hour, 14-hour beat. And the conversation can't be as simple as defund this. overthrow this, take this money, bro. We got to go really, really break down the economics for real, because that's where all the information is. Like, I want to talk about mining your content, nigga. Mine these reports for real, and what is being reported, and how these books is being cooked, and how these budgets is being broken down based off what's being reported and what never goes reported, what we know to be true. You know, it's just so sinister, and it's feeling like it's getting darker by the minute.
When you made the thing about like reading the comments, I actually need to watch that interview because I saw a clip of it the other day and was like, wait, Mani was on the interview? Why I didn't know. But it led me to kind of think about one of my first ones here about caring, people's thinking. And I was watching, weirdly enough, I was watching an interview that was I don't know the podcaster's name. It's a Black guy named David, something like that. But he had B. Simone on there recently, which I was shocked that I would watch that because my ideas around her.
around B. Simone?
Yes, but I was completely wrong. So like watching the interview, I was like, damn, first of all, stop judging, bitch. But
there can only be one B.
That's what it was. My spirit was like, who this bitch claiming B? No. It was a super interesting interview to listen to. And it was also even her talking about dealing with like public comments and thoughts or whatever. And it really led me to this idea of like, I can't care what people think because most people don't actually take care of their thoughts. And I've been really sitting with actually for the last couple of weeks of just really working on practicing taking care of my thoughts, and what I'm realizing is surrounded in doing that and going, oh yeah, people are not doing that. So they should have just popping out their mouth. They don't even fucking think about it. So I was like, I'm trying to work on being a bit more disciplined, and it's kind of, for however reason, it's just showing up in a way where so much information is coming to me around how to protect your thoughts and how to protect your mental, but also how to challenge your thoughts, because not all your thoughts actually have value. They're just things that are running through your head. And I was doing like getting more consistent around making sure my sleep was good, because I think that's really important because, being exhausted, all the shit will happen, but then also really being more consistent with exercise, because I was recognizing that like, that is the one space I can go and consciously spar with my mind. Like my mind is going to constantly tell me like, you're tired, you're burnt out, you're this, and you have to like battle your mind to finish out whatever that you're going to do. And I was realizing like, oh, this is a place where I'm going to have to go practice this consistently, because it's going to translate in all these other areas of my life where my mind is saying one thing, but I actually need to battle that because it's not real. It's just what my mind is saying based off of all this other shit. And like meditation being like a place where I can work on slowing down my thoughts and catching them so I can get better at like not projecting in the moment, because I can slow down and be more present and feel that. And then also like reflection. So all these things that I'm like, okay, I need to actually practice these every day, because that actually builds me towards this thing about caring about my thoughts and what's going through my head all the time and being a better master of that. And I was thinking to myself, one, like, how many people are actually doing all of that? Which is not my space to like, police whether you are or aren't, but I'm like, how many people are actually doing all of those practices consistently to take care of their thoughts? And the reality is probably not a lot. And so why am I overly worried about someone who doesn't even take care of their own thoughts and what they think about me or what I'm doing and all that other stuff? And then it also led into this idea of like, wellness. I said last week, I was like, wellness is the new prostitution. But I think one of the ugliest things that's come out of wellness is that we've given people language, but the practice hasn't been there. And so it's almost like we gave everybody a fucking treadmill. That don't mean motherfuckers get up every day and go get on that shit. It just means we all now know what a fucking treadmill is and what it does. And now we can call a treadmill a treadmill.
Hey, everybody got a Peloton. Ask them.
Everybody.
How often they hop on that motherfucker.
Pop it for P. I don't know who P is. But that nigga's making a lot of money, right?
Right.
The fact that I don't have a Peloton and I know who Pop it for P is already saying enough. You know what I'm saying? So like, just really that understanding of like taking care of, and then also this isn't like to be on a high horse, because I go in the same breath when I know I'm not doing these things that I've identified I have to practice, don't trust my own fucking thoughts. Like, because them motherfuckers is working against me already. Like, so I was just like, damn, I never really thought about how much like these things that I'm doing every day are affecting what's happening in my brain and what's happening in my mind and how I'm like walking through life.
Sheesh.
That was deep.
Yeah, that's hella bugged out.
Yeah, no, I think like it's like I think it just comes down to like how important right is for you. You know what I mean? Because I think like for the most part, folks just be out here trying to argue over who's more right about whatever equation. But like, truth be told, like, and right is semantics in a way. So like you can right to me, if I know I'm right, then the level of proving that doesn't really factor into me. Like I like to hear like where people are coming from, and like try to work out how did you get to that answer.
Were you always like that, or did you arrive there one day when you was like you heard yourself arguing something that and you were like, bro, this sounds nuts, and you just got off it, never was like, let me stop arguing with people?
I mean, I think it was more so just like when I learned how to use my words, because like, or like I didn't have like the patience to hear people. I don't think like if you wrong and like we get into it about something, then like it's usually physical. You know what I'm saying? And like that was like a early on mistakes that I was making, you know what I'm saying? But later on, you know, when, you know, you start being around folks that you can't fisticuffs with, you know what I mean? Like they have like all the built-in structure for, and you're gonna fuck your life up doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? So learning it from another angle, on like folks like actually full on sweat, eyes bloodshot, debating. But like none of that turning into like anything physical was like an eye opener that, oh, there's you know, there's other answers on the table. You know what I'm saying? It's not just fight or flight, you know, like you can actually debate and actually learn a lot, you know what I'm saying? So like that helped out a lot, I would say. It's just I think just changing probably the element, but I don't think everybody has the opportunity to do so as much as I don't think people actually, I want to say people don't have the opportunity. I feel like it's not a priority. So it's not like because you have, even if you're in a fucked up ass situation, there is, if you can start doing building blocks of momentum, of positive momentum, then you can start to reroute, you know, over time. But I don't think people look at it that way, like with the Mani reading Will's book, but like the whole, like the, I mean, his dad did an amazing thing as far as like making them build that wall, because that's what he always goes back to, is just putting down that damn brick as perfect as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because like
that one brick,
you know what I mean? Like you're not stop looking at the whole wall. You know, like why are you so discouraged by a wall, and this ain't the way to put together a wall, man? Put together that brick and it perfectly. Right. I think that's kind of like the pseudo answer, I would say, for a lot of the questions that folks have.
Lex, Bub, same for you. When did you? Because I've noticed that growth in you too. Like, but the funny thing was, I never received your passion as, oh, this nigga's, he's doing it out of ego. You actually have always, at least since I met you, you've always listened really well. So were you always like that, or was that a shift thing for you?
Nah, it was a shift. Honestly, I think the shift came when I moved down here, because at one point in time back home, I just felt like I knew everything. And then when my whole world got turned upside down, I had to really sit back and be like, nigga, you don't know shit. And that's and every time I hear that, I hear my mom's voice in my head saying that, 'cause she used to always say that to me. because we used to get in like arguments for like a little bit, me and her. Like I got to this age and I felt like, yeah, I knew everything. And she would constantly tell me that nigga, you only been alive 18 years. I've been on here way longer than you, so you don't know nothing. So when I moved out here, I purposely told myself like, I don't know shit. So I need to sit back and actually give people a chance to explain their views and try to be more open to different things instead of just thinking that my way is the right way. Cause obviously it wasn't, cause shit, I almost fucked up everything thinking like that.
Martina and her mom are two of the more amazing people I've ever met. They have foster kids though. And shout out Keita. Keita's at UCLA. She had a 4 whatever the fuck all through high school and got a scholarship and shit, like, and bright girl. And then her brother Myron, like, school ain't his bag, but he's clearly fucking smart, but he's 17. And so he went to a dinner with he had a chance to go to a like a formal dinner with some of San Francisco's like city officials and shit. And they like ordered him. Teen's mom ordered him chicken strips for when he got home because she was like, he ain't gonna eat none of that shit. And I was like, how do you know that though? Because I know him, he ain't gonna eat none. I was like, Ma, can you do me a solid and just try whatever's out there? He's like, bet, I got you. And so he got back in the middle of the party. G, I don't know if you seen him come in hella clean. Mm-hmm. He had the white coat on. I was like, how was it? He was like, that shit was fun. I was like, did you try it? It's like, well, I said, what was on the menu? He's like, man, I don't know, hella white people food, but I tried it. But I ain't gonna hold you. That shit was white as hell. But you know, I put. But I kept my word. Man, I tried everything.
You can try white people food, just don't eat their chicken because.
But it was something
white people for chicken, bro.
That was to Lex's point. That was something I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger. Though it was like, because you get in this habit of saying what you don't like, and then I got to college and was doing that shit. It was like, no, I don't eat that. And then my girlfriend at the time was like, have you had it before? And I was like, nah. And she was like, wait, what? I was like, no, I just don't. I know I don't like it. She's like, all right, man, that just sounds crazy. And it was how she said it that made me feel like a nut. It was like, oh, I really don't know if I don't like it because I've never even tried it, you know. And that like shifted my whole thinking. It was like, man, I don't know, like, and that being okay. But it was like trying to retrace those steps of when just saying you knew some shit became cool. Like when if somebody says, hey, do you understand? And you like look around and you like, if everybody else does, I just need to say I do so I don't hold up the fucking party. And it's like how much of our existence and how much of our information is spread based on niggas just wanting not to be the one person in the room that didn't know. But everybody's looking at you for the answer, and nigga, you walk around talking about you like you got it. You just winging it. So now we just got these just winged ass answers. Like, bro, this is crazy. I need to start saying I don't know. Like, and I just hella related to that. Lex, thank you. B, same. When did it be this? Because I would struggle if I was you, fam. But you're so patient. You listen hella good, but. How often is it like I wish this nigga would be quiet? Because this is you just wrong. You just have it wrong. But I'm gonna let you live.
I mean,
because I'm a humanitarian. But nigga, this is crazy. I don't know how much of this I can take. This is fucking nuts. This person is ridiculous. Like I would like smart. I don't know. I would just have it bad. I would have it really bad. I mean, to me, my shift was, I used to be very arrogant in what I thought I knew and didn't know. And then kind of like saying, what period of your life is the arrogant be? Is that like high school, college? Is this elementary? Like when, because I need to meet some people that knew you. And then I need stories. I need stories.
Definitely probably through college.
Oh, wow.
Through college, I was I was very arrogant in a lot of beliefs that are so funny that I don't even come close to holding anymore.
Let's say he's wearing that white coat with them goggles. Supposed to be arrogant as fucking in science classes.
You gotta be.
Once you did concoct a few things, you know what I'm saying? Like if anybody that know the what is it, the damn periodic table? Anybody that know that shit?
Wait,
you gotta be arrogant as hell.
But you know that shit by heart. I used to hate having to feel like Charlie, bro. Nigga, what? Nigga.
No, the crazy shit is teaching it too. That was even crazier because I was like, hey, why are we making kids memorize this when they got phones? Like, you can just look this shit up. Just know how to use it. And that's
just know how to use it.
Yeah, that was my shit for teaching. Is like, I don't give a fuck if you memorize this shit because I remember having to memorize it. Like, this is a waste of your time. Know how to utilize information. Don't just memorize shit for the sake of fucking memorizing it. But
bro, why couldn't you be my teacher? That's what I literally got in trouble. That's on a referral. I was like, bro, it's in the book. You want me to just copy what's in the book? This is crazy. And then kicked me out of class.
If you had my class with the right group of kids, like if you had, because there would be a group of kids, I'll always get every year. I would always have a favorite class period because they just had a certain level of maturity where we could all be like, we gonna do so much fuck shit. But we got to give like 30 minutes to actually learning some shit. Because when I got to give y'all these tests. And that class was like always my favorite. And all the kids would be like, you like that class the best? Because I heard you guys did this. And I was like, well, yeah, because
they can be trusted. Like,
yeah, when I'll do the like, hey y'all, and they'll be like, all right. Because they were like, you give me so much rope all the fucking time. Like, okay, good.
Wow.
So teaching was, I miss it, but not to go back, but it was fun. The kids were dope. But I think your life falls apart, kind of the Lex's part. Your life falls apart and you realize you didn't know shit. And then from there, I've just been kind of like really in a space of, I don't really hold on to very many things as truth. Like there's maybe like 2 things that I think are true consistently. Everything else, I'm just kind of like, this is what I think right now. Shit, I don't know what that shit's gonna look like in 10 years. Like maybe life will teach me some new shit. So I've gotten away from needing to hold on to like truth or like right or wrong so much as I used to, but then also like really being open to like taking what's good. Like everybody's gonna say some shit, everybody's gonna have an opinion, everybody's gonna do all of these things. And I could walk around with this attitude of like, that nigga dumb, but I'm gonna just not be an asshole and listen. Like, or I could be like, let's just hear them out and let me take from that what I do want and then let the rest of it go. Like, and just kind of like picking and choosing what parts I want and what parts don't resonate with me and just being like, whatever, like, and let that be. But I also, it comes with a timestamp. Like there's certain people that I go, you probably got 10 minutes of my time because it's going to be so much shit that I don't care about.
An important addition to your brain is like the allotted time that you give folks, because you can it's like how long you just sit in things, you know what I'm saying? So that was a great point, because like you can take so much fuck shit. Like I used to be able to really just sit in fuck shit, and now it's amazing how little time I have for ignorant thoughts.
But Elle, I had a thought specifically about you the other day though. Like Elle would have these moments of like, say we're in a car and then we 4 deep. Like, so this is the formation of the car, 2 niggas in the front, 2 niggas in the back. And I literally have seen him, whether he was driving or riding, I've seen him go somewhere else and just not be in space. So I also think that is granted, it's a tier of like beginning to like, hey man, I gotta know how to go to a place in the midst of all
I'm gonna be here.
Shit.
Like this is where my life is right now. So I'm gonna be here anyway, but like I can't, like my mental cannot be here though.
I've seen it. I've seen niggas just glaze over and go somewhere else. And it's like, I wonder if that's what's happening. My niece River does that a lot. Like she doesn't need a lot. Like niggas, toys, all this shit. She don't need nothing. She is like the car door shit, nigga. The car, I don't know what that car door was to her, the handle on it, but my mom pulled up, was like, what y'all been doing? I was like, fam, we've been outside for at least an hour and she just wants to fuck with the car door. I was like, we chilling though. We had an awesome time. But toys, all that shit ain't, it's nothing. So I just think about the how early do you develop just little habits until you can keep expanding on that into where you B's point, you's like, yo, yep, this person's got exactly 7 minutes before I just turn and walk away.
That's why I can't like a lot of people who get like really cool with me, they begin to learn like Brittany is not the person that you're gonna talk to every day. Like that's just not how she is. And I'm gonna like
I feel like all of y'all are that. I feel like all of you guys are that, and myself included, are that in your peer group where the people you closest to, you don't have to talk to every day.
Yeah, like they know I'm gonna be on my secluded in my own world shit. Like I'm gonna go whatever, and then when I'm there, I'm there. But part of that is I go, if I want to give you my time and my attention, I actually want to be present with you.
Right.
And so my thing is, if I'm going to be fully present with you in this moment, and a lot of what you're saying is a bunch of shit I don't care about, you probably go get me once every 2 months, because that's when I'm going to have the energy to be patient enough to sit with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Versus like someone else who I'm like, if you're going to engage me intellectually and we're going to be able to do something a little more than just the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? We could be here. I could talk to you once a week.
Right.
But if you like, okay, like you got me once every other month, and I'm gonna be hella there and engaged. And what I'm also noticing is like, because sometimes I go, why are all y'all always trying to kick it with me? Like, I don't even be talking to y'all like that. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm noticing is that people are not used to actually having someone listen and be engaged and give a fuck and ask follow-up questions and all of those things. So you get there and they go, you make me feel really seen. And so then I want that all the time. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I just
that ain't how that works.
That's sign up on the list.
That's some water dancer shit. G, remember in the character, like he would sleep for like a week after that shit. Like what you're asking me to generate right now requires me tapping into something that is going to cost me, fam. So yes, I can do it. However, you probably get a much better version of me if you just leave me the fuck alone. Like, hey, what's your love language? Space, nigga. Like, can you handle that? No, then we're not gonna work. Like, cause I'm definitely going away, and it's not even gonna be. It ain't gonna have shit to do with you. It's just like, hey, man, I'm fucking tired. I'm just going to sleep. I'm just going to sleep. Blackout curtains have been my best friend.
Yeah, I guess funny.
You got to get the hotel joints, G, where that motherfucker look night for real all day.
Yeah, we had little situations, you know what I'm saying, at Planet Hollywood, and that's when I found out about how you can really get lost in what day and time it is.
Oh yeah.
Like I believe we went in at like 4:30 a.m., but I don't know what day we came out. Shit was impressive.
That's L last night.
Snacks, you good?
Exactly.
If you got a snack and someone being a snack, you know what I'm saying? You good.
Here she goes.
You know what I'm saying? You got everything you need in here. You got food, water, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I think we good.
You know what I'm saying? The water's flowing. You know.
Yeah, we got food, water, entertainment. What would you choose?
The waterfalls is gushing. Water, what you need, you know?
Hey, Lex.
Yeah.
Did Busy Bo make you proud or what?
Secretly, both of them made me proud. Busy Bo made me proud because he want to check some niggas, but Juicy J made me proud just for the simple fact, no matter how much money he got, he snapped straight into a Memphis nigga and was like, hey, Suck my dick.
Well, hey, I'm telling you right now, niggas just fucked up. Like they forgot what was happening. Like I know niggas is on this peace and harmony and we can go viral and we can diss each other WWF style, but them not the niggas to do that with. When Bone came on the scene, nigga, their first video should have let you know what the fuck was going on with them. And then 3 6 months, them niggas been the same niggas forever. Them niggas had a whole MTV run and didn't change their style. So, hey man, can we just be mindful who the fuck we playing with? Was my thinking. Man. So Busy stops the music and goes, hey, I know what we up here to do, but I'm not about to let these ugly niggas diss me. I think niggas is missing the point. He was like, these the niggas y'all fuck, these ugly niggas up here. And when a nigga call you ugly, it's personal for real. I think that's the part that niggas is missing because he stopped the music to say it. And then Juice was like, oh no, nigga, you got me all the way fucked up. Like, there's only one way to respond to another nigga calling you ugly. Yo, fam, suck my dick, man. What we doing? I'll beat your ass up here. I need you to know. I don't give a fuck what. I don't give a fuck who in here. Them niggas. So, and that's how you know there's some real niggas because they fought. They went in the back and somebody said, hey man, y'all fucking up the money. And they went, you right. My bad, man. Like, let's get back to it.
So let's go on.
You couldn't have asked for a better outcome, fam. And then hit after hit for niggas to be like, oh, this is different. Like the other verses and shit, they've been cute, but these not the niggas to play with because the shit that you didn't know was they joints was that. Bro, them niggas was up there flexing. International Player Anthem came on and I think I cried a little bit, just like a little bit. And then niggas like, that ain't even their song. No, what niggas need to know is that their version came out way before that one came out. Like that's how that music industry shit is so many because you get so many, you can try so much different shit. Mary J's first album, nigga, is just remixes. Like you can keep trying, dog. Like creatives, don't stop, bro. Don't give up on yourself. That's another tangent. But I was hella proud of Busy and them. That was a moment. Did you guys watch it?
I did.
To me, my favorite part of that wasn't them fighting. It was the chick. Is it Gangsta Boo? Is that her name?
Oh yeah.
Her in the back being like, you not on your pills. Like, that tea is hella funny, bro.
But see, you gotta it's gotta get personal. It's gotta get personal. This feud has been going. This is 30 years of feuding. Who the best group? Who the best group? Them niggas always get thrown in the pot. Them A-Ball and G, Outkast, they always get thrown in the pot and people be like, yo, man, I don't know. Bone Mike God, 3-6 and 3-6. It's like, nigga, we still relevant today. Don't mention us with these old niggas. That's the type of time Juice came. Juice in that red suit was letting them know these niggas old, nigga, I'm still lit today. Nigga, what we doing?
Juice still going strong.
I also think they were angry because, you know, when they came up, they didn't have nobody ushering them in. Like, people forget. 3-6 was young. Yeah, they didn't have
3-6 was young and independent. Yep.
Yeah, and then for 2 years they couldn't do shows because they had gotten so many fights at their shows that they got banned across the U.S. So they had a lot of like hostile energy towards all groups. Do or Die, Bone, Crucial Conflict. They hated everybody for a little bit.
Conflict.
Yeah. But and you think just thinking about it on some competitor shit, you like, fam, Eazy-E walked y'all in the front door, nigga. Y'all better be lit. Like if we had that kind of cosign, you know what we would do. So it's like the fact that I could hella see Juice and Paul being like, are y'all serious, nigga? We made Terrence Howard the nigga. Like we don't. Cannot mention us. Y'all cannot mention us with this nigga, bro. Like with these niggas, bro. We've done way more than them. Like it's not even. It's no contest. And then you get up there and you go hit for hit, and you like might have to have a different conversation. It was just beautiful. It was just beautiful to see that quality of a catalog on display from both parties and niggas who might have been asleep on either side. They really learned that. Really, because I watched it. I had before. It was hella niggas like, nah, 3-6 gonna watch them because they're going current and being relevant. And then the niggas who knew for real was like, y'all got Bone fucked up. And it was naming like B-sides and shit that they could start with. Niggas was like, I've never even heard that song. It's like, oh, you in for a treat for real. So and then to watch the timeline like flip, The niggas who was rooting for 3-6 was like, nah, Bone washing them. And then the niggas who had Bone was like, nah, 3-6 fucking with it. It was a real dope, like, it was educational at the end of the day. Niggas really walked out of there with some respect on both parties' names. So that was beautiful, man. Shout out Bone. Shout out Juice Ball. Boo.
They could have lived without
Ball and G.
I'm sorry.
No, they just
I didn't
did the
watch
wrong
the whole
song.
thing.
They just
I
did
watched the beginning
and
then stopped because it was taking too long, and then saw the clips after. I actually low-key liked the DJ battle in the beginning. Like, people in the comments people just be such fucking haters all the time. We be like, bro, y'all don't gotta voice every hating ass thought in your mind. I thought the DJ battle in the beginning was hella cool because it was giving a platform for these two DJs who aren't super well known to like have their battle or whatever. Low-key, I think Asian Bruh low-key killed it to me, in my opinion. But when I saw they had Terrence Howard, I was like, yo, like, this is the epitome of light-skinned niggas. Like, as a light-skinned person,
did Terrence Howard come out?
Yeah.
What?
Rat.
G, that nigga came out with a fedora on, bro.
With the beater?
And rat.
And did his heart out here.
G, fedora, the shirt open with the beater showing, but he had the fedora with the flip at the back, like not the his shit gradually went up. I said, this who dressed this is crazy. Anything but the fedora with the little, I said, this is crazy.
Hey, that's what niggas were when they got the slick back. When you brush your hair backwards.
A conch.
Hey, the funniest thing I read in the comments.
I would expect nothing less.
The funniest thing I read in the comments was when somebody said, I knew DJ was going to get out of jail and keep rapping. I was like, niggas ain't shit.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yo, Black people, I gotta love us. You know what I'm saying? I was actually a little disappointed because I thought the internet was going to be funnier about the verses. I was like, wow, y'all, we just didn't take this. Okay. We usually, all right, this is sad.
They didn't participate?
No, I'm like, usually Black Twitter kills it. But they were just like, like, boo.
You think people are getting tired of verses, or is it still thriving? Or is it just a different entity now? Like, it's just
different. I would say it's just different. Yeah, like in the midst of things
being live, so like people go to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's people there, so it's like that. That's the new element of it. Yeah, it's lit. It's lit for real.
And then moving to Triller was interesting because I saw people in the comments too getting upset about like watching it. If you watch it via Instagram now, it's like one camera angle, but it's their way of trying to push you to go buy Triller because then that one is like 18 cameras and all that extra shit. And I was like, okay. Swiss Beats in having to field the comment section. I was like, nigga, I would have hired somebody to do that shit. I'm not about to be in here fighting with these random ass motherfuckers about like what I look like.
How do we because it was definitely a lot of viral moments this week, but I don't, for me personally, there wasn't one bigger than watching my uncle Deion Sanders just be the GOAT of all GOATs and go, hey, I know how to stop this. I know how to combat all the fuck shit. I know the perfect remedy for all of this for my young athletes.
Roll out the carpet. Just bring her on in here, man. Just come on in so y'all can get the game straight from the. I said if this ain't the coldest pimp shit in life, nigga, I've never been prouder of it was a real proud moment. Got to.
Cause niggas can whisper all they want. Brittany Renner this, Brittany Renner that. Real niggas is like, hey, that's just part of it, fam. And if you get caught, you get caught up. That's on you. But that is definitely part of how this goes. Whether you want to admit it, what's the song called? Whatever the song was, niggas was trying to have banned for the misogynistic lyrics. It was like when I threw my hands up and was like, oh, I don't want gangster rap to ever go anywhere. Like I want bitches and hoes to be in raps forever, nigga, because bitches and hoes really exist. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Suck ass niggas, bitch. Nah, it's just me. That's why you can't can't leave me to my own vices because this shit would still sound. Uncle Luke and them niggas would be the hottest niggas fucking with me right now. I'm not tripping. For every Brittany Renner that exists, fam. And so for Unc to go, yeah, this is never stopping. So let me just call Shorty in here so she can give y'all the playbook. And if you get caught after rapping with her, fam, that's all. Hey, I did my job as your big dog.
Yeah, I did it all for you, bro. No, I led you, and you decided to go your own way.
You decided to do it yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. I mean, I think that was a hell of a move, and it's
Wait, G, my bad. I didn't explain what happened. My bad. Can you explain to the folks what happened? I just went on a tangent. My bad.
All right. So Deion Sanders is the head football coach for Jackson State. And he had a special guest come in to talk to the team.
A special guest is crazy.
A special guest
coming to the stage.
Coming to the stage right now. You'll get like a motivational speaker. You'll get like, a ex-player. Something like that. Something that folks look up to. But you forget that it's a different day and age. Like we all are. Everybody's enamored with online and with like social media and all that stuff and DMs and all that. So why not bring somebody in that is in that world that you have a chance of getting a lesson learned from? You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that you miss out on, So right. Just the intelligence to utilize that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, folks can look at it as like a funny moment and like, come on, bro, like that this is unreal. But like real talk, when you talking to these kids that are between the ages of 17 and 21 years old, they are living a lifestyle now where they are they get caught up in they get caught up in picture fantasy world, right. And not realizing that it's real life shit going on out there. And you can play around and with the status that you could have. So what she was breaking down, which is gospel, is that you're gonna have if you have actually had opportunity to end up being in a position that you think you should be in, then you'll end up having the pick of the litter on options. And you need to know that given the choices that you make, there's an opportunity for underlining the situations to take place. And these are things that you might want to put into context first and don't try to play the victim card afterwards. So understand that when you're out here looking for these folks and you DM somebody that you just looked at 200 pictures of them, you know what I'm saying? And you actually get them online and you actually have a sit down and one thing leads to another. Understand that you were a party that was involved in that. It was no like somebody took advantage of me. Nah, you had a incentive in mind and you gotta understand you're dealing with a whole nother individual and they have incentives as well. It's just that now folks are open and honest about what it is they doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's really what it was. So I used I did a lot of covering up on there. Y'all can go look into it, but for the most part, y'all get what I'm saying. So shout out to the goats for
shout out to the goats
for keeping it a bean. You know what I'm saying? Folks might not look at Brittany Renner as a goat, but I definitely do.
Right. Keeping it churro. All right, B, go because you fighting.
I don't got too much on that. I just I'm upset that she has my name. All these bees out here though. I mean, to be honest, like that is a way to look at it. Is people just being honest about what's going on. And I do think there is validity to like, hey, young men, like know what the fuck is going on. And if you choose to engage, you choose to engage, but it is what the fuck it is. I just, I think my bias towards all of it is more so that, like, my understanding, the guy was really young, right?
Well, if you talk about age difference, it's only a difference of like 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
But wasn't he like 19 or something like that, or 20?
PJ, yeah.
So that was my thing, is like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times we look at statutory rape from the male to female perspective. And to me, I'm like, no, that shit's fucked up too, going the other direction. Like, guys don't look at it necessarily that way, because they just like, I don't care if I'm 17, 18, 20, that's a bad bitch. I'm trying to, put the tip in, But like,
hey, speaking of, Lex asked a very important question.
I saw that and laughed.
What is the equivalent of just put the tip in for women? Like, what is the equivalent? Because we know what that means. Hey, fam, just real quick. Hey, what time you got, Lee? Real quick.
I mean,
and then we know what that's turned it into.
Is it just let me just rub the clit up against you real quick?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just gonna rub it right up against the leg real quick.
There's a whole genre of porn where it's just bitches on the side of the angle of the bed just going crazy. Don't ask me how I know that. Like
no further
on
details.
On the edge of the bed, just like.
Hey, Mani, what do you type in for that?
So the crazy part is, whatever I typed in, I promise you I didn't think was as many at the time, and then when it landed me there, I was like, yeah, well then I need to go figure my life out. If this is where this got me, if this was only two scrolls down from where I'm starting at, yeah, this is we in deep waters now.
Bro,
but you still watched it,
I'm curious now. Like,
I was about to say, you see that little preview, you're gonna want to.
That's the fucked up part. When you, hey Lex, when you scroll and give you the little preview, now you're like, God damn! Like, it'll just be for one angle. You're like, yo, that one angle was many. So now you got to figure out where that happened. Never mind, y'all wilding today.
No, I know. You gotta tap in real quick.
Bro, watching a compilation of rubbing your shit up against the side of a bed. Because that shit go back to back for like 10 minutes, bro. You know how much of a sicko you gotta be watching.
It's a whole genre, fam. I promise you, it's a whole genre. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that is funny. Like a rug burn on your vagina. It's not sound okay. I don't know. I think for women, it's the equivalent. It is like interacting in any level of foreplay. If you're like, suck a titty, something like that. Like where it's like, because I think it's like women go like, oh, I can just go to this point. But if you get them to the right point, there's no turning back. Like, right. I'm not about to tap out at this point. Like, we got to finish.
We're here.
Everybody deserves to finish. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day is what.
End of the day, huh? Shit, we didn't got to this point. Well, shit, why not?
I feel like if I'm gushing, that's a waste of gush.
A waste of gush.
Hey, that's real. Like to turn the water on and then just let that motherfucker and then just
to draw a bath and not get in
and not get in the bitch. Like that's a waste of water. And we are in a drought. So
we are in a drought.
It's disrespectful.
That's true.
I'm not in a drought, but I'm saying though. No,
your shit okay. There's water over there. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The well is fine.
Okay, got you.
I'm just saying for people in general,
Yeah, like your well has upkeep. You gonna check, make sure the earth is working out. Cool.
It better have upkeep. Shit. What the fuck?
Cool.
Why would you not upkeep? You know what?
Hey, that's not for everybody across the board. Some people just feel like it's gonna do it on its own.
Okay.
Natural.
This is getting crazy. I feel.
Yeah, so we're gonna take this off this topic because I'm just gonna keep going. I didn't have an off switch for that one.
Oh no, I do have a serious question.
Oh please.
And I damn near blame y'all. How the fuck we let them rebrand Facebook like right in front of our faces? Like, how is that a thing?
The fuck we gonna do anyway?
But a full rebrand? Like, we let Joe Budden rebrand in front of us like that? I'm still not over that. Like, that don't make any sense at all. That nigga is a whole new nigga now. And now Facebook. That's crazy.
Yeah, Joe's teeth is what be killing me. And they got the rabbit teeth, boy, the chompers.
I thought Joe did good on his selection. Like, I thought he picked the right color, the right size. Pause. That feels weird to say. Thought Joe did good. It's
like file those down.
Hey man, you get this is above my pay grade. I don't know. I don't know nothing about nothing.
But yeah, are we talking about like the meta shit?
Yeah, man. But it's like to watch meta start pop. Like when you open Instagram now, it no longer says powered by Facebook. It says powered by Meta now. Like and now you just see it popping up. And you're like, oh, they're gonna make this a thing. Oh shit! Wait a minute, this is already a thing.
Yeah,
like we're in it. It caught me off guard because I was like, somebody said it instead of saying Facebook. They're like, yo, you use Meta, and I'm like, wait, what? Someone don't talk to me like that. It's Facebook, fam. Like, no, money, it's Meta. You work for Facebook still? No. I work for Meta. Excuse yourself. Like, what is happening, fam?
If we go through history, it was Meta World Peace.
This nigga, he's
Staple switched to crypto.com.
And
you know, it'd be story situations that is making, you know, a decision towards the future. Like basically it's pushing it. You know what I mean? Like it's full throttle, the gas is on that fire. They want us indoors, drugged up in the metaverse.
Where you can buy property.
Damn. Nigga hit the group chat with a proposal to buy meta real estate, and it wasn't a joke. He was dead ass serious. And it's like, oh nigga, this is a thing. We the homie the homie has a crazy thing. Shout out Pass. I think I could say Pass has a crazy feature dropping this week. They paid the nigga in Ethereum.
Wow.
I said this shit wild, bro. This shit is wild. And I love every bit of it. My young niggas, y'all get y'all bread. That was the general niggas for the listeners. That's all y'all. Get y'all bread. We'll start calling that out. Just to be on the safe side. It's like,
which nigga contact you?
Yeah. Antoine Fisher, the lady was calling them nigga, and they all looked at each other like, nigga, she talking to you. Like, I know who when they I know when they talking to me.
Yeah, depending on the type of nigga and where it's coming from.
All right, I blame L.
If you 25% black, can you use the word nigga?
Fam, I'm not like, for me, I don't care who use it, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like the little Asians from, like we live in the Bay. The Filipinos and the Mexicans say nigga better than nigga here. The niggas here, for real. Like they say it the way. Watch a Filipino say nigga. It's art. I never seen no shit like that. I'm on the train. I'll never forget being on the train. I'm like, bro, man, nigga, I'm on the bitch. Nigga, I was like, oh, there's some niggas back there wilding, bro. It was all Filipino. I said, this is crazy. From that day on, I just didn't give a fuck who was saying it. I guess a little part of me died. I can't fight that. I can't fight this battle. Like, bro, if I got mad at everybody that said nigga, and living here at least, maybe that ain't everybody else's experience, but in the Bay, everybody said. Everybody had the one white boy that was really from the shit that nobody ever said nothing to. He was out there talking crazy. He had a grill. Nigga had a scraper. He was driving before everybody, and he was out there talking crazy, and no one ever said nothing.
Nigga had a taper.
Had a taper for sure. He for sure had a taper. When the white boys and the Filipinos start getting tapers and grills, it's like, oh yeah, it's over.
It's hood now. Good now.
G, I blame you.
Oh no, I want to hear Elle's thoughts. What are your thoughts around somebody 25% saying it?
No, that shit actually happened to me.
I want to know your thoughts.
I was just confused because the person sitting across from me didn't show any level of like you couldn't see a percentage base. You know, I was just like, it was really weird coming from him, and everybody is just like standing around, and I'm like, you know, that's like you real comfortable with that word right there. Mm. That was part of the whole like arguing with me about Kanye. Like it happened in the same conversation. Like she got so adamant about me needing to have more distaste towards Kanye that niggas started flying, and she ain't used nigga all night. So in her speech of talking about Kanye, niggas was flying, and I'm like, ooh, ew, that word doesn't look good on you. That's all I want to do. Like, I can't even hear what you talk about, lady.
I can't hear past the niggas coming out.
You know that nigga's kind of scared, like nails on a chalkboard.
Did y'all watch True Story?
Another one, huh?
Did y'all watch True Story?
Yeah, I've seen first 2 episodes.
That the first scene of that first episode is like that happens. That happens all the time. So it's like how Kev handled it in the scene is like, yeah, bro. I don't have the energy for this shit.
Right.
Do your thing because you look crazy, and you only seen the first 2 episodes, G.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we'll hopefully you finish. We'll talk about it next week because it kind of
it was it was tackling some shit.
Yeah. No, that's one of the things I left out. Kev, y'all know my battle with Kev, man.
Kev did a rebrand.
Full rebrand. And he's bodying that shit. Bodying it. That the writing. Lex, did you watch True Story yet?
Nah, I'm about to start this week.
Okay. Yeah, when y'all watch it, I'll do my research and go figure out who the writers were and shit. Cause like episode to episode, the storyline, the parallel, like
he got the guy from he got the guy that did Narcos though, like in order to like put together the dramatic effect to the show. He sat down and brought him over, the guy that did Narcos.
So that's clear then from the cinematography, like how they lit certain shit, like the color that they chose, like it feels like Narcos. It feels like Ozark, like even in Ozark where there's those comedic relief scenes, how it's still sort of dark. So you kind of on the edge because somebody could either die or it could be a funny ass moment in Ozark. Like True Story is that way where the humor and the crime is like inverted. So you laughing at shit and then all of a sudden some wild shit can happen. It's Kev, from the acting, from the writing, everything as a production. True Story that's a real Kev and Wesley, some incredible performances.
It's a good look, and Brett is so convincing every single time he hits this. He hits when he does his character. So whatever character he ends up doing, but he's gonna use that face. The dude from what's the name from Sons of Anarchy?
Oh, gee, nah. So maybe I've been asleep, but this is one of the first things I've seen him in. But always thought he was the best actor in the Sun series. Like he had the most range. Like Juice had the range, a little bit of everything. So seeing him in this role, fam, that shit was impressive. Everybody in that film, in the series, True Story, they really they casted it perfect. That was definitely attainable.
Definitely a good look.
It was something about how adamant you were that I listened to the Will book that made me literally listen to you and go, all right, Elle said I gotta experience it this way, so this is how I'm about to experience it. Fam, it's taken over my life. Mm-hmm. I don't do nothing else.
Yeah, I finished it, so yeah, let me know when you're done, because the amount of things, that's what I was saying, like the amount of things that he covered and like how he was working in like him now. So right. Like him now, given like the whole like going on some of the like kind of like the Buddhist monk type of deals that he's done, where he's just been in quiet situations, and you can tell all of that is transparent. But just going through like from start to finish, man. Like Will's lived a very, you gotta understand, Will's been Will for a very fucking long time. So for him to have any semblance of even wanting to be an amazing human being, giving how much was given to him or how much he experienced or what he was around initially. Oh, what?
I think that's been the greatest takeaway. Is like the world and the internet. Like I get things change, but y'all be having certain niggas fucked up.
Completely.
And I can't think of one person that might not be the poster boy, you got me fucked up, other than Will Smith. Like for real. Like, and I get it. Like that's what one of the first things niggas told me when we was moving around was like, oh, y'all got Hyro fucked up. Them niggas will beat your ass. Like they you can all that lyrical miracle shit you want to. Them niggas from the town for real. Same thing about De La. It's like, okay, y'all can keep talking that shit if you want to. Like them the niggas that'll come off the stage and really whoop your ass for real. And they just be having certain niggas fucked up. And he's like, he doesn't cuss in his rap. She ain't no gang. Like the fact that he covered all that. I'm so fascinated with people that are aware of the narratives that exist about them and how and when they tell it from their perspective. And that nigga was fully aware of what was going on. He's like, that shit was the bane of my existence. And then I just so happened to fall in love with the one woman who has the most public love story, black love story ever. Her and Tupac, nigga, this shit is a nightmare. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not gangster enough. I'm not black enough. And then the one nigga who's the poster boy of gangster rap is who my woman is synonymously like attached to forever, no matter what the fuck happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like the driving force of the whole deal being that he's looked at himself as being a coward for the majority of his life. Put so much into context on like when we see all these things, like he has the Earth thing now on like the Discovery Channel or whatever, where he's like doing all these death-defying stunts in like all these different locations. But you'll hear at the very end of it, like the stunt that he did or whatever. But the fact that now everything, like the only thing that, and Jaden talks about it as far as like the only thing, what is Will fear? And the only thing that man fears is fear itself. Like to even be fearful of a thing is what he would fear. You know what I'm saying? So to go from the person that viewed himself as the coward of cowards because he had the general at the crib to who he is today, you know, even with the outro that he gave his pops, you know, like it's just it's a full range of living life. You know what I mean? That's a cool thing that I took away from it was that Will is like the poster child for a dreamer. Like his fucking, like his, the way that his brain works, he sees everything in colors.
Right.
Like in like, everything is like a canvas that has all these different blotches of different paints. And that's the only way that his brain works. Like he doesn't see it as anything else. He only sees things as its maximum capacity. And to live your life that way through like what 50? Was it? I don't know if he's 54 or something. I don't know how old Will is.
He's.
I think it's like 53-ish.
Yeah, he's right around. He's right around our parents' age. He's right around your mom, my mom.
Okay, yeah.
He said he was born in 66, I think.
That's what I was thinking. So it would seem for like a normal individual, it seemed exhausting. You know, the amount of things that Will tries to tackle.
Right.
But this goes back to what I was talking about as far as like finding more time within the 24 hours or whatever that you have, is that in living this life with fully in that capacity, there is no concept of looking at things in 24-hour stints. Like you have so much time within the time that you have if you use it a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took from him, is just that Brett's done a shit ton of things and he continues to add on to that without the burnout. You know what I mean? Right. So he's putting in like the work now to not burn yourself out.
That's what I'm taking a lot. So y'all forgive me over the next few weeks as I Unpack and Fan Out and all that shit.
Understood.
He one of the main things, is he talks about having it all taken away and vowing to never let that happen again. So, nothing lasts for. He said those words. He's like, I learned the one thing, that nothing lasts forever. That shit hit me like a ton of bricks when he said it. He said it with so much emphasis, and because he's doing character, he's doing voices of the different people in the story, so the story's moving. It's moving so fast because he'll do Jada's voice, he'll do his Gigi's voice, he'll do his dad's voice, he'll do his best friend's voice, he'll do Jazz's, he'll do everyone's voice, and it's so dope.
That's it.
It's so dope. So when he did the Nothing Lasts Forever, he put so much emphasis on it, but in his voice, and I was like, fam. And he was saying, when all of it got taken away, he was like, I vowed to forecast and look to the next thing in the midst of doing this thing, because I knew this is going to peak out, and I gotta be in full tilt when this next thing is going. And it's like, okay. So I'm not crazy. Bet, keep going, keep talking, Will, keep talking. Then and then the dreamer shit, G, to your point, is like, yeah, man, like he had to tell mom straight up, like, hey, like, you a teacher, you don't know shit about rap. like I know how you feel. I know you think this ain't gonna work out, but I'm gonna have to stand on what I stand on to eventually have moms come around and have his pops support him the way that he supported him, because pops identified as an artist, but that dream was taken away from him by someone projecting and telling him what he needed to do, but he knew better. And so his pops was like, I'm gonna protect my kid from that shit. Same shit that happened. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Which doesn't matter how bad your parent is. There is variations of your parent that you have that is the best version of themselves. Because as kids, we're sponges. So we tug and pull on pieces that work or whatever. So we get a lot of the bad, of course. But we have a great amount of the good too that they don't even know if they encompass. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool too. It's just that, as fearful and like as much as he stumbled into like the entertainment deal from a level of fear that he had and like the cowardice of not being able to stand up to pops, you also got that militance is the reason why you outworked the entire world.
Everybody. So that's his conflict the whole book, and you like, bro, this is a beautiful pull. And then at some point, I think for me, my internal conflict consuming the book is wanting so bad to identify with so many of these stories. But there is an undertone and a consistent thread of selfishness and lack of self-awareness in some pivotal moments that he doesn't shy away from. And that's hard to internalize. And so and that's why one of your topics, B, for this week really hit, where it's like the level of accountability you need to be a successful leader, fam, is like top tier. But there is a part of it that can outwardly look like self-righteousness, selfishness. It can be perceived that way, but I don't know. And I'll be curious to know, but I'm not even curious because we watched the YouTube documentary, and granted it's entertainment and it's edited, but Will read those chapters to his family in that thing, and their responses were moving as fuck, and it didn't seem.
I love Willow's reaction to everything.
I do too. It's just one of them ones.
Yes. Willow takes it all in with every fiber of her soul.
Man. And then when he said and I can't tell if he's setting you up for the end, because it feels like he's that type of writer, but when he goes out of his way to explain his dynamic and friendships with the people that love him, his mother and everybody that's closest to him, is like, yo, you got to be careful when you get wrapped into a Will story, because you don't know what's real or what's not, because he gonna take it on one, but the ones that he take on one are usually the truth, and then the one, it's this weird balance. So he's painting these pictures so good. I'm trying not to fall into the trap of like, damn, was he was he hella accountable, which led him to make these really hard decisions at the time? Or was it actually like, because he's reflecting, and he reflects on certain things. He's like, at the time, this is my regret, did that. But if he it's the major, if you change any of that shit, he may not be where he's at today, So it's like listening to it and knowing what he actually accomplished, what the stats are, and then hearing what it cost him in some of those moments is like, oh man, it's like, it sounds like he'd do it all the same, but I'm curious, would he? Knowing what he knows now, like, I'm curious, would he do it all the same to get to where he is today? And to be in the middle of it, like right under 3/4 of the way through, G. So maybe he answers that in the end, but it's also one of those things I don't want to end either. It's like a really dope podcast or a really dope show that's like, it's a specialty and it's just this moment, but I got every intention of going back and listening to it multiple times because it's one of them ones, like, it's different. I remember my 9th grade English teacher giving me the Miles Davis autobiography and just being blown away. Like, it's hella funny because we was like, nigga, I never read a book cover to cover until I was like 20, and I'm like, I'd remember that too. I remember like having never read a book cover to cover until 9th grade year, and was like, I couldn't put that book down. And then it was like, she just would give me books all the time after that. She knew how to tap in. I was like, yo, this shit is really, like, really, really wild. And but this book, maybe it's because of like age and like my proximity, this feels like one of the better books I've ever read, for sure.
I'm excited. It's on my it's next after the one I'm trying to finish right now.
What are you reading right now, B?
It's what is the name of it? It's something about overthinking. It's like how to change your thinking about overthinking or something like that. And it's just about trying to, it's actually a book about anxiety. And I started that one after a book I had read about mental illness, and it was from the space. It was basically a collection of stories from people who suffer mental illness, and their experience with navigating like people, and then but also like the healthcare system and how they get like overly drugged and like all of this stuff. And I've just been trying to get I think it was a intention to just get a better grasp around what the experience is like to operate with a certain level of mental disorders. And because I actually had this as a topic like weeks ago, but I just didn't put it in there. But it was an experience where I had a moment where I went, we are significantly closer to being spun out than we think we are.
Oh man.
Like
I think I had my first maybe it wasn't my first, but I was able to feel it. I fully had to pull over. My first panic attack this week.
Oh.
My mouth went, I started tasting something strange, and I got really, really hot. And I mean, I already sweat. So it's like I was sweating, like the signs had started. I was driving from Richmond up to my apartment. So that's like with no traffic midday, it's like 14 minutes. And I was sweating the entire way, but I was like, that's normal. Just got out the shower or whatever. And then I'm getting closer to the exit, and I felt my neck, and it was like a puddle, just got trapped right here. And then I had this weird taste in my mouth. And then I did the same like shortness of breath I was having during COVID. And I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck? And then it was like the most mainy part of the freeway where 24, 980, and then that Broadway exit G, literally my nigga, right. I had to just stop in that little, it's not even off the freeway because 24 and 980 come right after each other. Nigga, I was between the ramps between 24 and 980, just sitting there like, what the fuck is happening, bro? And then I like a little moment of just like, hey, don't resist like that shit. What they teach you in the car crash shit, like don't tense up. It's like just let go. And it was like, all right, bro, I just let go. And then like nigga bawling, like, and couldn't, like, wasn't making no noise though. Like it was just sitting there and just had to let that shit go. And I sat there for a minute, like, all right. And just rolled the windows down and like dry my face, nigga, and just pulled in and went upstairs and just like got in the bed and then went to sleep the rest of the day. It was intense. Like I until you said that, I completely forgotten that shit happened till just now.
It's I didn't start having panic attacks probably until a couple of years ago. And now I've actually come now to not having them very frequently. I used to have them almost like once a month.
Really?
And they would always have random shit that triggered it. But I was, the reason I was thinking about this idea was I was out with a friend and we ran across this guy in the street. He had stopped me and was like, "Oh, your outfit's really pretty." And I was like, "Thank you." And then he continues to talk and it was a very attractive guy. He had a suit on and all the shit. And as he's talking, I'm realizing like, oh, you're probably dealing with addiction and you're at like the cusp of that. If you're out and you meet somebody and you're like, oh, that's just like a crazy homeless person, right? I'm meeting this person where I go, you're at that cusp where if you continue down this road, if I see you in 2 months on the street, like people would tag you as this or whatever. And he had said that he had just arrived in Dallas. He had moved from somewhere. He had like packed up everything and left. And it was just so interesting to me because the girl I was with, we said whatever. We did leave because honestly, like as women outside at night, you just have to be careful because whatever. And we get to a place we're starting to have drinks. And she was saying to me, she was like, yeah, like it's really heartbreaking because I know what it's like to be on the verge of your sanity. And she's like, if I didn't have the support system that I have, if I didn't have my family, if I didn't have all of these things and these resources, I know that I wouldn't be much different than this person. And and I was telling her the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I used to get really, really bad anxiety attacks the last couple of years, but it was one attack because I know that there's a difference between a panic and an anxiety attack. I remember reading about it. I don't remember.
Is there really? Okay. I need to educate myself. I did not know that.
What it's affecting in your body and all that other stuff. There's a slight difference, but I remember one was different because a lot of my attacks feel like if I can't calm myself down, I feel like I might die type of thing. Like I can't, I feel like my brain is going to boil because my body is so hot and all of these things and I can't calm myself down. But there was one attack I had specifically where I was like, I feel as though if I can't calm down, I will not be the same. Like my brain is not going to be the same. I won't think the same. Like I'm going to snap type of thing. And I remember being terrified of like, I don't think I want to keep existing without having my cognitive abilities in the same way that I have them now, which was even more, and then you just cycle in and you keep spiraling during the attack because you get more anxious about whatever. And I was just thinking to myself when I had that interaction with that guy, I'm like, yo, like you're one traumatic experience away from completely spinning out. We're all one traumatic experience away. And how life deals you that traumatic experience, you have no handle over. It's just going to be dealt to you. And it's how you're able. And so it was just interesting to me because when I had that conversation with her, when her and I sat down, I really appreciated that she didn't just chalk it up to like, oh yeah, that man is crazy or like, oh, whatever. Cause I think we distance ourselves so much from being that person. And the reality is no, like he probably just had some really traumatic shit happen. And what I've noticed when I was reading the other book about mental health and experiences, one of the through lines was like, your brain is trying to process and make sense of trauma. And if your brain can't fully wrap around and process trauma, then you start having these other side effects because of it. And that's not like the whole breadth of what it is, but that's part of it. It's like your brain is literally just trying to process something and make sense of something that doesn't actually it doesn't make sense. Or you can't put logic to it. It just happened. And you're trying to like figure it out and work through it. And if you don't have the things that you need to get through it, this is one of the possibilities. And, you know, that's why people lean into addiction. It's to escape this idea of I can't process all of this that's happening and all of these inputs at one time. But yeah, that was actually something I thought about weeks ago, but I don't know why we didn't talk about it. But yeah, it's just,
we're talking the leadership, the accountability and leadership, but I don't know that.
But that kind of ties in too, because my reason why I put the accountability around leadership was really more so about a friend of mine and us having a conversation about leading and their understanding of how to lead other people and be empathetic to other people as they're processing their shit. So I had a conversation with one of my friends who she runs a company, and she was telling me about some kind of like tension or friction that had happened with one of her employees or someone on her team. And we were kind of going back and forth about what was going on, and she was venting. And then at the end, I was like, okay, well, like now let's get to solutions. Like, what are we about to do next? Like, what happens next? What do you do? And her answer was, I'm going to have to figure out how to lead differently. And I remember being like, what? Kind of like taken aback a little bit, because the reality was, I was like, well, they were in the wrong. Like, they reacted this way. They're projecting, they're doing all of these things. And she said,
it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. It absolutely does not matter. Right. If I want to achieve this goal and I feel like this person is a valuable member of the team to achieve this goal, I have to lead differently. Man. And I was like, whew, like that's a certain level of accountability, but also it speaks to when it comes to real leadership, like you have to be wildly accountable for everything. And you have to be extremely emotionally intelligent. Like there's so much self-work that you have to do to even be able to understand if somebody is or is not doing their self-work. Like that whole shit is crazy to me. So I was just like, I remember being in that moment, having that conversation with her going, oh, I think there's a level of accountability that I haven't even gotten to yet. Okay, now let me start looking into that.
Yeah, that's funny because I was just having that conversation with Dave actually. We just had lunch or whatever, but
I seen him right after y'all got done, and I could tell he was processing everything you had said, bro. That shit was impressive. I could see it, his wheels turning in his eyes. Like whatever was said was like pretty pivotal.
Yeah, he's in a good place right now just because of like the age that you're able to get information on, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's beautiful to be able to pass it along.
That's what I want to say that to you too, G. Like thank you, bud, because that you gotta think. When my mom actually brought that shit up last night, was because she was like, yo, Freak, you sound different. He's like, shit, I am different. Like, I'm a fucking dad now. Like shit is significantly different. And she was like, the difference is y'all got each other, and at the very least it's enough of y'all trying to do some real epic shit. So the accountability circle it's just different. So where they was all 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 having kids at the same time, but it was their accountability circles. It was a bunch of them niggas still on bullshit. So it wasn't nobody that you really because you respect your peers so much. And if your peers is on bullshit, if your peers is on bullshit, you can't go bust down and have a lunch and a nigga give you some game and not preaching at you going, nah, fam, I just went through this shit. Let me spare you. Let me spare you a little time, some bread, some heartache. Nigga, please, if you don't do nothing, hear me out. But then you've also gone a step further and figured out the delivery part of it too. which I think to B's accountability and effective leadership is so unique because it's like the talent shit is really God given. Like it's some niggas that God really sprinkled with the shit for real, but to unlock it, its true potential, so much work is required, and you really been putting the work in, my nigga, like to effectively lead. So my bad to hijack it, but watching Dave's face, Poe had just said something similar, and then I seen Dave's face, and I was like, oh nigga, this is impressive, because he was like, he wasn't somber. He was like, I got a lot of shit to think about and put into action. So.
Yeah, I think it was like a moment that, it's like a revitalization, like it kind of revitalized a bit within them, just like because part of like communication is when something transpires, you immediately, there has to be like, somebody has to take the fall for somebody, and
immediately,
you know what I mean? Like somebody's gonna be wrong in that situation, and it's like the end of the world for whoever is considered to be wrong. And it also feels like there's no give back when you're in that stage, So the main lesson or whatever was just more so given where you like some of the things that luckily you've been able to do, but moving forward, like even if something just transpired where the communication was bad, and this is where folks are on the scale now as far as relationship goes, it's important for you to recognize what part you played in it first and foremost before you get to what this person did or how this person reacted.
It doesn't matter.
Where everything is now, how it feels, blah, blah, blah. All that shit is after what position did you play in it? You know what I'm saying? Because if you can tackle what it is that you're standing in and what part you played first and foremost, then you can start to unravel why this person may feel this way, and also how you'll be able to communicate with them moving forward, because the best way to go about it is to first and foremost present to them your position on where you were in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can only talk about your side. Folks like you tend to be in communication with other people, other human beings. And first thing we want to do is we want to talk about what it is the other human being is doing. Right. Without us even knowing. We can know as much as we want to know about another person. We don't know everything. You can
speculate. You can speculate.
You can speculate. Yeah. You could be around a person. You could be around a person as often as you want to. You still don't know that person to its full capacity. Only that person does. So, but yourself, or you should at least, and you should get a grasp on that. And then you can meet them at a point where, okay, this is my angle. Now, from like getting the full scope of what my angle is, how does that make you feel? You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of where you get to open the door communication wise, so I think that's the part that was probably what Will was turning on, or what gear was turning on. That was just like he's coming into his own, and part of it has to do with what we're talking about right now when it comes to being accountable.
Yeah.
You don't want to look up one day and all these things, you just had a snowball effect of things that could have been nipped in the bud to begin with if you were just accountable. Eventually you're going to be accountable. We have examples of people who, are up there in age and life is staring at them in the rearview mirror. And now they're ready to, present everything about angles of now they want to present accountability. So they're trying to make up for lost time. You don't want to end up at that point. If you want to lead with that to start out with. So as you move along, you're able to fulfill and get the most out of the most bang for the time that you have, because we don't have much of it. So you're trying to get the most out of it. That's how you lead with that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes a long way, I think,
what do y'all do if in the moment, if somebody kind of is looking to converse, like genuinely converse about any level of like tension, whatever that tension, whatever the space is, whatever that looks like, how do you how do you regulate yourself to be like, the first thing I need to do is look at my accountability for that situation so that I can even engage in a meaningful conversation, versus like almost, I guess, shying away from it. Like, how do y'all navigate that in the moment? Or especially like if you're still triggered? This
kind of feels like Lex's question, Bub, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but you asking something similar is like, as you grow, as you get new access, it's like, are you finding newer ways to deal with stress and deal with things differently? And for me, though, maybe those two things don't go hand in hand, but for me, it's all been learning, and it has been the shift of the cipher. Like, there was a real time where I was watching. I'll use L and Poe specifically, where them niggas were just really locked in. Every time I did see them, there was a new book, there was a new something that they were into, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's happening, And the conversations had a lot more range, and you're like, wait a minute, like, this is interesting. And it was just acquiring new tools, really. And I think for me, I did not realize how essential learning was to just experience in life. Like, you definitely, maybe not everybody, but for me, you definitely look at celebrity and all these people that you're like, oh man, I want to be just like them. But even reading this Will book or reading the Gucci book, like, so much of their lives are filled with learning new tasks and creating new tension. And the accountability you talking about, be like, there's honestly no way to unlock it without looking at yourself first. Shout out to 510 Media. Nana was in class this week. Nana was talking about feedback circles and feedback loops, and how we condition people to engage with us. So if you want some real niggas to keep it a bean with you, you got to work on your reactions to when niggas keep it a bean with you. And so many of us think it's just our language. No, nigga, nonverbal communication is a thing for real. So if you roll your eyes, if you get guarded, if you shrug your shoulders when somebody that you claim to want feedback from, and they trying to deliver you some information, that person's probably not going to talk to you again about trying to hold you accountable to things that you professed. Like, you came and sat down with this person and said, hey man, I want to start a multimedia company. And that person is going, hey man, you moving crazy right now. You got to, well, you don't understand. Well, all right, I won't tell you nothing about yourself no more, because you don't want to be great for real. You can't even take a little bit of critique. And I think about that in terms of like group settings and trying to build systems and teams and shit. It's like the formula, not that hard. Either you complete the mission or you die, as Will would say. Like, yeah, that makes sense to sense to me,
bro. Between that saying and two words, scorched earth, bro. Them two sayings alone, man, is something to live by.
Either you complete the mission or you die,
bro. 99% is the same as 0%.
Zero.
But he's like, nigga, that's not mathematically correct. But you had to go to therapy to learn that. Yeah, whole childhood thought 99% was zero.
It was zero. And they're like, not exactly, Willard. Not exactly, Willard.
Nigga was about to die at 50, trying to do 100 at all times.
No, B, did I answer your question? Did I divert? Did I not answer?
No, you kind of, but yes and no. I think my thought is like, how do y'all practice that in the moment? Is what I'm, or like, what is your experience around practicing that in the moment? Because
our conversation our conversation that day where you called and was like, bro, what we doing? Like that was I don't know how you were receiving it on the other end, but that was one of the moments where it was like, yo, somebody that I claim to respect and revere is stepping to me about something that is helping grow something that I claim to care about. And you have to check how you respond to those moments. So I literally didn't sleep the next night. I was like, fuck, did I offend B? Like, I wanted to receive that. Right. I really want to receive all like feedback, like in stride. So it's such a, for me, it's such a prevalent thing in my life that I'm thinking about. It's like, fuck. I want to always seem open to like, hey man, you should try that. You should try that. And it's work. Like there has been one, even if it's from somebody who doesn't identify as a specialist in that particular field or whatever, just being able to sit through it and filter out what you need is such a fucking skill. And it has to be exercised because it doesn't come naturally in the nonverbal. So in real time, B, I'm trying to cut down. I have a goal of cutting down the lag time. So they make fun of me for Mani mode. Mani mode would last days at one point, you know. Then it's like, all right, can we get
I knew when I was coming into Mani's vicinity because I would see them every other weekend. So I knew when I was coming into Mani's vicinity, I had a smooth, good day. Like my man ain't seen me in 2 weeks. I got a good day of full energy for Mani because fuck shit's about to happen at some point tonight, and Mani's not gonna talk to me for a little bit. So it's good to go. We're terms, unwritten terms is already here. You know what I'm saying?
See what I mean? And it was like a beautiful family inside joke for so long. And it was like, fuck, is that how rigid I am? It's like, let me figure this shit out, man. And so like, all right, I don't want it to last days now. Look, can we work on hours? And it was like, all right, hours is doing all right. And not because Mani enjoyed this. So this is just an inside thing, my bad. But Mani enjoyed a certain amount of structure. You know what I'm saying? Like things had to make sense for Mani, right? Right.
But
right.
You gotta think where like me and Lige were coming from. Like we in the town, there's zero structure and everything is fluid. Like we could be in a function, a shootout pop off, and we gotta dip in, hop over fences to another party that's probably in the backyard of the function that we just dipped off from. And then just party like that shit didn't even take place. You know what I'm saying? So like the level of like how quickly things just like, oh well, shit, that was crazy.
And I'm like, hey y'all don't want to just process the trauma we just experienced? No? All right. Well, I'm scarred. I'm gonna just sit in this corner because I don't know what the fuck just happened to me.
Like niggas ain't supposed to just be out here dancing now, bro. What you doing, man? Like
the way my spirit set up, fam. I can't get shot at and then just start turfing. Like, no, it don't work. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work.
Lex,
so yeah,
how about you? How do you manage in the moment?
I'm horrible at managing in the moment, to be honest. I'll be like, if it's somebody I respect, right? And they come to me with like, for example, when Mani was just talking about how Nana was saying when you're coming to somebody and you're asking them for their what they think about what you're doing. Like for me, I take the information well, but it takes me a minute to process everything somebody tells me. So if people are critiquing something, I'll write it all down, and then I can't give them feedback back at what they told me I should work on. Right then, I'll even ask, hey, you got time tomorrow to talk? And it's not out of disrespect to them. It's just I need to go back home and actually look at the notes and like really reevaluate what they told me and then go from there. I'm not good in the moment, quick conversation like that. It's something I'm working on though, but it's just the way my brain processes.
Yeah, I think Mani kind of said a little bit, but it's conditioning, like it's I think when you put yourself in enough situations where you have that intense moment, like you can cut this like the tension with the knife, as they say, or whatever. when you have enough of those, like at some point you're going to get like you're gonna get used to the fact that that's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So I think it makes it a little different when it actually transpires because you've gone through the mental warfare of it already. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of a thing, but also you got to worry about like which is a period of time that I went through or whatever, where you got to worry about like how people receive these things when you don't meet them with that level of like that feel like that they wanted, that they expected from you, because sometimes people will put you in like one of these like tense moments in order for it to get a specific reaction from you. And when you don't provide it to them because you've been put in these positions before, and all right, cool, let's get to the bottom of it, I guess. I guess that's a healthier way of going about this. But when you present it that way, then it could come across a certain type of way as well, that they didn't get what they were expecting from that. So you also got to deal with how that's presented, because that's something that can grow. So that can be passed along, and that can turn into like rumor mill type deal. You know what I mean? Like, because on my side, the amount of times that, you know, it's been passed along that there's a level of like nonchalance with like things surrounding feelings towards me and like feelings with me or whatever, like when somebody's speaking out of their feelings towards me, and like I'm just trying to get to like the crux of like why, you know, like what's really you know, messing with you right now, and you just want to have a feel off.
A feel off is crazy.
Yeah, you want to have
wait. Please tell me someone hasn't been spazzing on you and you said, hey man, you trying to have a feel off right now, and I'm trying to get to the bottom. You didn't say that before, have you?
Money, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's why I had to talk about myself. Because
wait, G, please.
I've been in these positions so much that I have the wording for things, like things that only make you angrier. You know what I mean?
That's
like
what
I don't do it on purpose. Like it's like, bro, like I recognize this. And
I wholeheartedly was willing to accept that I'm a sicko, because B's point, just being hella conspicuous and like hiding shit is like, yeah, Mani, you a sicko. But if you said fill off before, you got that title, my nigga, because I wish I could access that bar. That's a bar, nigga. You trying to have a fill off right now, nigga. I'm trying to solve this problem.
And there's nothing like having bars in the middle of an argument or a debate. You know what I'm saying? Because it only makes a person angrier that you have the wording for this.
Oh, like, now this nigga want to be a battle rapper. We are.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the middle of that shit. Like
I'll fight you, boy. Don't get a bar off not at my expense, nigga. You got me fucked up, nigga. You're not getting a bar. Not at my expense. Getting a bar off and we arguing right now. That's crazy, man. That's wild,
bro. I've been in a conversation and in the angriest of moments said a bar, and the person said that was a bar. It doesn't change the fact of anything, bro. But like,
what you gonna do if a nigga hits you with you trying to have a feel off right now? You gotta go, god damn. You're right. You know what? I'm bugging.
As a matter of fact, you got a point. You know. And it's nothing like having a point when I don't want you to have none of them shits. Like, don't even think about having a point, my nigga.
B, how are you how do you experience feedback, or just not even feedback, more, because I feel like we landed there, but that's not what the root of the question was. It was just like your response and how do you engage? Like what is that like for you?
I mean, I'm a lot better with it now, and kind of to Elle's point, it's when you have the experience a lot, you get better. You just get better at it if you try to be conscious of it and pay attention and change.
Right.
So now it's just really is super dependent on the context. Like feedback about anything that I associate to work, or not even just my job, but like anything I'm trying to work with and create or whatever, I've gotten pretty like emotionally unattached to that. Like, this is just something to try to get this better in a direction, or this is simply feedback from this area and I can take it or leave it. I've gotten better with that in general. I think with things that you create, like my podcast or whatever, like anytime I got feedback around that, initially I was like, ooh, like cheeks clenched. Like it's something you create. And you be like, nigga, don't be talking to me about my baby like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that
wait, but why is that really what happens though?
Yes!
Why is it your like fam? I know this is getting to me. My butthole just went like, nigga, what's happening?
Immediately. And then there are times too where in the middle of getting feedback, I realize I'm asking the wrong person. Like, why did I ask this person for feedback they ain't got no experience with?
That part.
Man.
That'd be happening to me. I'd be like, fuck, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I need to navigate myself out this conversation because I didn't have no business asking you this shit anyway.
Right.
But I think that the more I just, again, controlling thoughts, because I think feelings and thoughts are significantly more tied together than people give them credit for. Like, I separate emotions and feelings. I understand those as two different things. I understand emotions as energy and just a reaction that happens in your body energetically. I think feelings are what your brain is assigning to that reaction. And so your thoughts and your feelings are very, very closely aligned. So the better I can work out my thoughts, the better I can work out my feelings, which is where I'm trying to disconnect getting feedback from in general. Like, I don't want to take this shit personal. Like, I just want to get it and then go figure out what I want to go do with it. But it just depends. When somebody gives me feedback about me, that's when I have to, like, I know, like, about my character or their experience of me and my character. I have to slow down. Like, I have to get really, really, really present in that moment and like feel like whatever's happening in my body, like the anger, the heat, the clapbacks that want to come. And I have to go like, okay, well, why do you feel that way? Like, why are you ready to snap? And is this person accurate? And that's why you're ready to snap? And you just didn't really want to hear it right then? Or is it, you know, like, what's being triggered in this moment is kind of what I'm trying to process. But my when people are talking about my character, that's when I go like, I don't know about this one, bro. Like, but then a lot of times you sit back and you be like, nah, they was right. Like, that's true. Like, you're right. I probably was wildin', and I gotta think about that a little bit differently or a little bit better. But it's just life shit. Just trying to get through that shit. Be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really out here trying to be better, like, shit, the universe is just gonna throw you a bunch of shit to get better. Shit.
Right.
You gotta take it or leave it. But I think it's also crazy to me when people spend a lot of time pointing out your character. I always have to question what level of accountability are they having for themselves.
Right.
Because you here, so interacting with my character regularly. So that's the first question. Fuck you doing here? Right. But I think too, I have learned that people are mirrors, and the clearer the mirror you get, the sharper that delivery is gonna feel.
Right.
And I mean, you could talk about them all you want, but the reality is they, like, it's interesting to me when you interact with a person and you come in with an intent that is not good or pure or genuine, and then you receive this person, and like, if a person reads your intent and they choose to interact with you a certain type of way, and then you ready to talk about who they are, That shit is crazy to me. Like, you walked in here on some bullshit. I know you on some bullshit just because I don't tell you I know you on some bullshit, and I choose how I want to fucking maneuver through this because you ain't shit. Like, what? But you know.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in like people coming to their own conclusions. You know what I mean? Like I love to walk you a bit on like some of the things that you should actually know, but I'm not going to give you the answer because if we're talking about the betterment of everyone, and people have to figure out a way to critically think, even if it's, you know, there's, you know, got the bumpers on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that's kind of what it is that I just think that, you know, folks just got to use their brain a little better. Unfortunately, they don't.
Be like that.
What?
Oh, more often than
What? The domestic terrorism, G.
Oh, that was man, that wasn't full thought. That was Brett from where was that just now?
Michigan,
yeah.
Was it Michigan?
I was just like, it's out. That's out some more. People are back out, back outside. And here they come.
This is a safe space, huh? This is a safe space, huh?
Oh, always.
Do y'all know that shit popped up on my phone, and I was like, just kept it lit. Like, it didn't even, like, that day bothered me more than anything. I didn't even break stride, fam. Like, not for 1 second. So it was like, I only, as soon as y'all said Michigan, I was like, oh, I kind of remember that shit, but I don't know nothing. Couldn't tell you what happened, nothing.
Is that the one that the kid did it and their parents were on the run?
Yeah. So what happened was that this kid received a firearm for, I believe it was for his birthday or for Christmas. I forgot which one it was, but and he took it to school. He went, you know, he was posing as everybody's locked up. They said it was a firearm or whatever, but he was posing as like as a first responder or something like that, like a security or something. Like, he was knocking on the door to try to get in, and he used the wrong wording, and they were like, no, that's bruh. So but yeah, I don't know how many people he took out, but the reason the parents were on the run was because they have like the text thread of him getting caught with the firearm, and them like, and the mom, I believe, did like a LOL, and that you need to be able to like hide it better. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't no problem with them having it at school. It was just a matter of you can't get caught with it, basically. So that's the reason why they were going into all that. It's just like, you know, they were making light of the situation. This was prior to the actual situation taking place, but they're making light of the fact that we gave him the gun, and it is what it is, basically.
They're getting charged with manslaughter, correct?
Yeah.
What you want me to say?
I think
like,
is that the first time that's happened where we've seen the parents get charged with manslaughter for something that their kid did?
Yeah, that's a new ground. They usually can skate by on just being bad parenting, but the fact that they gave him the firearm that he eventually would use, and they have like they know that he's had it at school, is the reason why they are seeking them.
And did they say also because when they checked their house, they had tons of guns that weren't properly locked up? So it's like,
yeah, that's the added feature.
Yeah.
This was Michigan, you said?
You know, this was a high school in Michigan.
I'm just tired of news showing this 50-year-old kid like he 8 years old.
Okay, I thought I was tripping because as y'all are telling the story, I was like, that's crazy because the picture I saw, the kid looked significantly younger. But they are just showing a younger picture.
Oh, they use a child.
They're using a child.
They use the kid version of him.
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the grown-up picture in the group chat just so you guys can see Because I'm like,
Okay,
no
because
wonder you guys are using
I've seen the high school picture. I didn't know there was
the picture I saw.
I didn't know they were
hella
putting out
young.
the kid picture.
Oh no, they putting out the little kid. He got the fresh bangs cut with the bowl cut and everything. He got the prayer hands.
He got the Dawson's
Innocent.
Creek cut, bro, and they running that shit. Branding is a motherfucker. I love it though.
I was at the gym out here, and it's like a small boxing gym, and it was so crazy to me because somebody had their kid there. There's like maybe 10 people in there, and someone had their kid there, and their kid is playing with a toy gun, but it's a toy gun that like, it's not like a Nerf gun. It's literally a toy gun that looks just like a gun, and he's playing with it. And I remember at some point he turns to the glass wall that separates going out, and he's like aiming the gun outside and playing with it. And I'm looking around this room being obviously full of white people. I'm in Texas, and I'm like, no one processes this as crazy or weird or anything at all. And I'm like, if this was a black kid playing with a toy gun that looks exactly like a real gun, pointing it out a window, how, like, it was so wild and mating to me that I'm like, not a single person in this room,
bro, that
registers this as wild.
Hey, B, did y'all, Lex, I know you probably seen it, the Alec Baldwin shit. Did y'all watch that interview?
I watched most of it.
Oh my God.
What was Alec talking about?
Bro, it wasn't what he was talking about, it's how you said. Lex, please tell me you seen his cry scene, bro.
Oh, Brett. Is it fucked up that I don't be knowing how to take whenever an actor does an interview because I can't tell? Are you acting? Is that really you?
No, nigga. That nigga was, bro. That was painful to watch. I was like, oh, this is sick. And they cut these cameras, and bro was just like, oh no, yeah, that was uncomfortable. Like, again, the frivolousness, like, just the people are dying, and it's newsworthy, and you can just go on about your day. Like, it's no break in stride. Like, you still got hella shit to do, but the shit how it's just normalized, and it's hella gruesome, bro. Like, and so when it's like there's intricacies to there's intricacies oh shit. There's intricacies to the cases, but it's hard to be consumed with it, to really go study and follow it and break it down, where you just like, oh, they're gonna get manslaughter. The Rittenhouse, like that kid's just he's gonna skate free, like, and you know what time, like, the just good old, I text Morgan that the other day, I was like, oh, that's what I'm talking about, good old fashioned blatant racism. Just put it on the Summer Jam screen, bro. We don't gotta hide, like, we don't gotta hide nothing. This could be exactly what it is, and we'd be so much better off. But it's the shit that's on the under the tuck, like the spook who sat by the door. It's that type of time. Like, it's the ones who's infiltrating and lobbying and playing like they ride or dies for real, that's doing all of the hurting. Like, they're literally hurting us to death into the slave ships, bro. Like, just fucking off and just handing over our rights and shit, and fucking off our resources, our money, to really combat this shit. Because that's really what it is. We start affecting China's bottom line. We start affecting niggas' bottom line for real. Then we got to have a different conversation. So don't talk to me about nothing else if it ain't no money involved, bro. It's plenty simple. If we start fucking up people bottom lines, niggas got to have a whole different kind of conversation in terms of what's moving and what's not moving. What was the line last night, G? If I what was it? If I say it ain't moving, it ain't moving. Whatever that shit was, I don't know. It was something, yeah. But nigga, I told Tina this morning, I was like, nigga, was I tripping last night? She was like, nah, but
that was the one, yo.
But it like a switch is going off, and it ain't there's no going back for me personally. So if this is what's moving the meter, moving the scale, don't call my phone if it ain't about that. Because us being underserved is strictly just that. We just underserved, and nobody has to give a fuck about our wellness for real. To B's point, they can prostitute it, but they ain't really got to invest in it. And that looks a little different than motherfuckers just dying in the world, just keeping it pushing. You know, yeah. Shots, anyone? No. It's the only way I know how to bounce back. That's the only way I know.
Shots. My God.
Hey, Lex, why you put this picture in this thread? Please look at this thread, y'all. This is crazy.
The top one is the one that I saw. I was like, this is
so...
Bruh, look like two different shooters, right?
That is Mani. Oh, my God. Can you see that clear, Lex?
Yeah.
With the fucking prayer hands is crazy.
Oh my gosh. Don't let's not make him look like a little fucking criminal. Are you kidding me?
Hey, bro, that had the same head his whole life.
Shut up. You know what?
Like he had to grow into that one, cuz. That's the shit we talk about. Yeah, big ass head when he was 8.
What we missing, y'all? Oh no, the sports shit real quick. I think that was that it for if I'm missing something.
I kind of want to just talk about this whole robot thing.
Oh, that's my bad, Lex. I missed that one.
And just because I've heard hella people talking about it with the robots reproducing, and everybody's like thinking about big ass robots, but it's really they're talking about sales, like just they made genetic cells, like fake cells, and then those small ass cells they are starting to reproduce, and it's like people are like, well, it's just cells, but if you really think about how big that is, that now that these cells figured out how to reproduce by themselves,
right,
and all humans are is a whole bunch of cells, like that's what we're made of. So if these quote unquote robotic cells that they weren't made to do that are now doing that and then start coming together, and then they're called xenotypes, and then like Christ. Now this is my extra nerd stuff. Nigga, aliens. That's what the alien is called.
I'm like, bro, that sounds very familiar.
Exactly. So think about how fucked up that is, that these cells is making themselves. They don't know what the fuck this thing's gonna make in the future if they keep reproducing and start making something. And then I see all these alien movies where the dude really made the alien and called it a xeno whatever, and now there you go. Everybody else can ponder on that for a little bit, because my ass has been thinking about it for like the last 2 days.
I think of that one movie with Ryan Reynolds when they were
where they found the thing in their space.
Yeah.
What's that one?
What's it called?
I can find it real quick. But I think of that with that because that's like that started off as like a mini cell, and then fucking it just, you didn't know what that shit was about to turn into, and eventually it just kept on going. By the time it made it over here, so
damn. What's it? So this shit about turning to Transformers?
So if we can make those cells, then why the hell couldn't we make COVID?
Wait, why we couldn't?
Why couldn't we make it, or why did we make it?
Yeah, I'm just like, if we can't make these little robot cells, then why can't we make all these damn variants and shit? Like, because they marketing the fuck out of it, bro. Who keep naming these things? How'd I get that? Where did Omicron come from?
The movie's called Life.
Life, yeah, that's the one.
Like or life?
Life. Yeah, really good underrated alien like sci-fi film.
Rather check that shit out.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Life is on Netflix now.
Yes.
Martin Lawrence Life?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Upper room.
That's the one, boy.
I just want you to bust in the motherfucker.
I was happy to be going through the little titles like, okay, you don't say.
G, that hit that sports pocket real quick.
Oh yeah, I'll just point out that two things. Well, it's been talked about a little bit. By the time I just saw it at the top of the week, and I was like, "What the fuck?" But the coaches for the coach for Oklahoma switched over to USC. The coach for Notre Dame switched over to LSU.
Oh, yeah.
Both. I guess. Well, Notre Dame and Oklahoma were both still well within about to play bowl games with their current group of people that they've recruited. And they went on the first train smoking to a better position. While we've had to hear about Nick Saban talk about the transfer portal all year long,
Right.
And being pissed off at the fact that people are leaving, like kids are leaving through that instead of sticking to it. So I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy of the NCAA and the amateurism and how coaches have been moving since the beginning of time and since they started since they made their first meal. You know what I'm saying? Their first meal ticket, they've been doing this shit. Luckily, we have NIL now, so kids are getting a piece of the pie, getting a piece of their own likeness pie. You know what I'm saying?
Their likeness. Fun. Whoopee, you can make money off your own name.
You know what I'm saying? So exactly, you can finally make name. You can finally make money off your own name. So
that shit is so crazy.
So luckily,
I don't want you to move. Don't move past the movement of the recruiting classes and shit like that. I experienced that in school. And for people who don't know how the recruiting process works, like they have a scout team, and then based on scheduling, whatever coach is supposed to hit the road and go do the scouting is the ones that do the scouting, right? So one of the assistants may see you and bring the tape back and make the case for you, like present, and they convince the rest of the staff that you're a fit, and they rank you from there. And then they based off of availability, they go down the list, and whoever if they don't get their guy, he goes to one school, they drop down the list and get the next guy, and then they keep going. And the first assistant at the time recruited me. And was my dog. It was somebody I could see myself playing for. He came to Super 100 at Cal, watched me play, and when we spoke, he was speaking about the things that were most valuable to me at the time as an athlete, and that was just doing the little things. Like, I played my AAU team had fucking Wendell, B-Walk, Vinny McGee, like niggas that can get a bucket. Like, they didn't need me to score. Like, go figure something else out. They don't like. Can you go play D? Can you do everything else?
Shout out to Vinny too. San Francisco is killing right now.
Shout out my dog. Shout out Vinny Mac, man. Like, those are the things that. And so it's just like, yo, and then you're at Super 100 camp. Everybody there can fucking score. You definitely got to figure out another way to stand out. So, like, I'm about to play D. I'm about to do everything else. And we spoke about that. He's like, yo, I value that somebody that can just play within the system and then themselves and just add value. And so, yeah, man, definitely want to play for you, and then get there, and this nigga takes a better job. He's gone, and I'm left there with
still there.
Yeah, I'm just there. The half the guys that were there had transferred when I got there, so you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, you feel stuck, and there's no one there to help you figure that out. But all you know is if you transfer, you got to sit out a year. So you go, fuck, is it even worth it? Is it even worth it to even consider that? I'm gonna just stay put, because by the time that headache of transferring, we didn't did all this stuff to get it wasn't even an option, but it should have been, because the nigga that brought me there is no longer there, and the niggas that was there when I went to do my visit, half of them are gone, and not because of graduation, because they got the fuck up out of there. What does that? That's got to buy me some kind of window to reconsideration.
Hey man, I lost a year. There's gonna be no sign off to switching over within conference, and it couldn't use a hardship, couldn't use a medical, none of that shit. So, and that's how.
Are you kidding? I didn't know all that. They blocked you from transferring in conference.
Hey, no, you about to do this shit? You ain't about to play against us, nigga.
Wow. I did not know that.
They said you could stay at the school and not play basketball if you want.
But not transferring conference.
Yeah. Because I stressed that there was shit going on at the crib that I needed to get to. So y'all take that the way that y'all want to take that, but I got to get up out of here. And it's like, oh, well, we want you to be here, of course, and then like a few weeks passed and they got some recruiting in or whatever and did some more recruiting and they had like some replacement situations or whatever. And I'm like, as a matter of fact, like I'm stay true to my word or whatever and stick around. And it's like, well, shit, we already did our, we already got a backup plan or whatever. But, if you want to, we definitely support like you getting your education from here so you can stick around here. And I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? I hate this. I'm not about to just be here and fucking go to school.
You kidding me?
That's not the reason why I do it. Snow 8 months out of the year. What you talking about? Just go to class. I don't go to class now.
Man. The evolution of everything now, G, when you see athletes starting agencies and shit, is there any part of you, hold on, is there any part of you that Siri, get your ass up. Is there any part of you, god damn, I don't know why she keeps popping up. When you see what athletes starting agencies now, bruh, I'm not talking to you. That's crazy. That's Siri so crazy. She keeps popping up. Siri, you're really listening. She fucking with me now.
You're a hustler.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna ask it. Yeah, I'm gonna text it and then
try to say something around her.
But she's fucking with me right now. I just wanted to know how you. Oh shit! Now can't hear y'all at all.
We can hear you. Keep going. Bring it to us. Bring it to us.
This is happening. There you go. I can hear y'all now.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
I hear you.
When you see how athletes are moving now, is it with starting agencies and just being business forward and like you can be multi-dimensional. You don't have to just be one thing. Are you like, damn, this era fits me because you've found out newer shit about yourself, like that just adds to the total person that you are, not just one thing. You see Steph with the agency and like signing athletes in college now. Brian and Clutch. That Clutch show on BET Plus is fucking nuts. I don't know if y'all watching that shit. That shit is amazing. But just seeing it, two things. Do you think about yourself in that light now? And then what do you think about the business of it too?
I mean, I'm just appreciative, to tell you the truth. Being in the thick of things, even like, I think that I felt like we were ahead of schedule for a lot of different eras. And even while playing, I felt like I was ahead of schedule for like the times that we're in. Like, I was a person that didn't have a specific position. So there was like now that's something that's sought after, you know what I mean? Like it also, when you go into school, it wasn't a thing to play freshman like that. It was like you want to go through the red shirt or you want to play behind a person that's put in the work, regardless of like what your talent level is. So you could be serving somebody every single day, and then you gotta watch this motherfucker play when the lights are on. You know what I'm saying? So like it's shit like that you gotta deal with, just the mental part of being in college or whatever. But it's not so much that you like, oh shit, wish things were different, or I see it's a way better landscape for athletes and stuff like that. I think it's more so I'm appreciative that it's come, you know what I mean? Like to take away, because there was so much because they took advantage of the amateurism title for so long. that's the part that pisses you off being in the middle of it, is that seeing like, you know, the amount of money that is around you that you can't touch, the amount of things that you have to do behind the scenes and off the clock, out of the light of things, to get, you know, your dough, because you don't get a piece of it. You know, it's just that you got to take a bunch of steps to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Without like folks really knowing. So it puts you in a worse situation if you ever get caught. You know what I mean? And then they'll chastise you about, you know, your character and shit like that, as if it's like, bro, but what about this coach that's making $3 to $5 million a year, and my nigga just drew up some plays? You know what I'm saying? Like, we go
already
out there,
existed.
you know, exactly. Like that nigga went to a coach's camp this past summer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, B, that's out of pocket. Don't say my nigga play already existed.
Is it not just putting the combination together of things that already existed? Like,
oh my god, that is no. I just had never thought about it like that. That just fucked me up. Like, wait a minute, this thing ain't even original. Like,
now the cold part about coaches is that it'll be a play that was ran on them, and they put that shit in state playbook. Like, that shit work like a motherfucker, bro. I'm gonna put that shit in my playbook.
It's totally okay. It's totally okay.
My nigga got $5 million for that shit.
And then go, y'all not running the offense efficiently. If you run it right, like, nigga, they know the play. It's their play. Like, what are you talking about?
Bro, it's nothing like going to the head coach.
Oh, that might be the funniest shit ever.
And that should just be a full-blown flex. My nigga got acres and shit in the mountains. You just be like, bro, you doing real well for yourself on my back. And then wonder why a nigga look like that when you see each other. When you pass in the hall, nigga just give you a quick little mug. But anyways, yeah, I'm just glad that they got, you know, they're getting a piece of it or whatever. So I'm all for it. As far as the business aspect of things, that's natural. We talked about Mikey the other day, but and like LaMelo and them and stuff like that, and like it's.
Oh, I gotta cut in my Adidas film. I want to show you guys. See what you think.
Oh yeah, dope.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you. Speaking of Mikey, Mikey. Oh man, I can't wait for you guys to see it. My bad, G.
Yeah, so it's just like the realizing that the business is happening anyway. It's just that you weren't a part of it. You couldn't be hands-on with it. I look back and I'm like, Mark Olivier and Pops and Lou and like there's so much business taking place around you that you can't quite be hands-on and a part of and be out there and open about when it could only increase your individual brand. It's just cool to see that they're not holding that back anymore, and that's what I'm appreciative of. Like, regardless of if I was going to get a piece of that pie or not, it's just a matter of as a ex-athlete, you would want the there to be right at some point, and that shit was so wrong for so long. And I'm just glad that it is where it's at, even if it is NIL, because I mean, today NIL is probably more than way more than they can possibly give you at the school.
Right.
For certain individuals, it's not going to help out the full group of people, but also like you don't even have to be like the athlete for NIL to work out for you. Like you can be an amazing TikTok dancer and be able to get your bread. You know what I mean? Like everybody is doing a bunch of different things that don't have to do with your athletic ability, but you're getting that cut. You know what I mean? So that's really
I think that's what I was trying to ask, and you got to it in a much clearer way. Was like so much of childhood was being told you got to pick this early. You got to pick one sport. Like, nigga, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you could definitely do all these things and still function, have a social life. And it's like, nah, you got to sacrifice this right now. And it's like, okay, cool. And then you get there and then what? Like, B and I were talking. He was like, bro, he's like, this is some sicko mode shit to commit to one thing and it still be no guarantee that this shit work. Like, that's sick.
Bro.
That's a sickness. That's not
putting 20
That's a character flaw. That's what he said. That's a character.
Putting 20 years into something and then it being snatched away is a version of insanity, bro. Because like you get put in a position where now they made you work for 20 years or whatever, and then said, okay, you can't do that anymore. You can't do that 20-year thing that you were doing. That's a no-go.
Right.
Now go figure out the next thing for yourself. No resources, just here, to just push you out to the world,
because we cut off the natural resources you would have been able to produce on how money move type shit. If you can leverage your likeness in any capacity, and that don't mean being influenced or nothing like that, but the amount of money that is set aside for marketing anything, nigga, it could be appliances. It could be, they are always looking for different things. And then, so now this meta shit got me fucked up, bro. Cause you posting these pictures and these videos on these sites and it now becomes their intellectual property. They can use that shit for whatever the fuck they want. And it's always money to be made and money to be spent for that. So they've created these platforms for us to just give them free content. And oh, by the way, take care of this. It's oh fuck, it's Mani. It's so Mani. I love y'all though. I love our listeners, bro. Our listeners are hella tight. Like we really got a community. I do want to do better about the page. So if y'all got any ideas about that, because every time we do I remember to do something, we get hella like specific dialogue and interaction from people who really tap into the show versus if I post from a Mani page or whatever the fuck. Like it's not the same community. So yeah, just putting that out there.
Posts. Okay. See, you looking good, girl.
shout out Teen, that motherfucking dress last night. I said, girl, what is going on?
I see that leg, honey.
No, B. So we're like her partner's like, yo, come take pictures real quick. So I'm like, all right, what we doing? Girls and their angles and all this shit. I'm trying to take the picture. And Teen goes, yeah, gel pose real quick. And in my mind, gel pose was like the squat, like all this shit. This nigga threw her leg up and was like, yeah. And everybody, like the record skipped and was like, nigga, gel pose. Who? First of all, how do you know that? And second of all, when did this become? She was like, yeah, for like when the wives and the conjugal visits, like, fam, how you know that for real? First, we got to have a whole nother conversation right now. How the fuck you know that?
be amazed at what folks be out here doing.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute.
They ask different elements and be like, oh shit,
you a little too good at this, fam. You got to slow down. What is happening right now?
I think this should be a live show topic because I have thought about like how women deal with dating someone in which they're going to post and there's going to be a bunch of randoms that are like hard eyes and all this other stuff. And this definitely can be a public topic, but the anxiety I had just now of posting it is a real thing. I'm like, I had the time of my fucking life last night and it was because of her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but what I'm attempting to do is hella strangers. Like I don't even know these people. So I like even like with my niece and Teen, like my sisters is a little different, but with River and Teen for whatever, I'm like hella guarded. But that can also be received another way too. So I'm like, man, whatever. Like I more so meant like so that other picture that y'all had posted with Janelle and what's his name?
Deuce, Brookfield.
Yes.
Deuce.
I was me being a woman. I'm like in the comment section, like, who? Okay, what's going on?
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, I wonder how Teen manages this in her mind because she has to just know that that's going to come with this. And as the more you grow and the more stuff you do, that's just kind of going to be a part of it.
Right.
And I was just so interested to see how she processes that. And also just in general, like, I mean, just how people show up on social media in general, that's a whole other conversation to have around. Cause let's end with that, which was the whole Will and Jada thing that I had put in there. So there is a petition that is going around that I thought was so wild. It's literally that people had a petition that they should stop doing interviews and sharing. And it was like, I think it was like last week, I think there was almost like 300,000 people that signed it. And more importantly, I'm like looking at the comment section and people being like, I'm so tired of this. And they need, which I'm like, there's so many things. I'm like, one, there has only been maybe 2 to 3 interviews, but how the world works is they all have to comment on these 2-3 interviews. So when you keep seeing this shit, like, it's not that they've done a lot. Also, if you keep seeing it, it's because your algorithm is set up to bring it to you, or you had to go watch it. So why the fuck are you complaining? That's number one. But 2, that's like,
the answer right there.
It's so it's so interesting to me that these 2 people are having honest conversations about what their relationship is, and y'all are hating. Y'all are quick to be under everybody's pictures on some couple goes, love wins, all this other shit.
And he in there beating her ass,
faking this shit. Yeah. Like, and the crazier part to me is you're willing to do that under people's posts who know that they shit is on some different shit and still chose to show up on social media that way.
Right.
To finesse the fuck out you.
Right.
So that you view them a certain way.
Right.
And that's what you praise, but have 2 people come over here and be very honest about the intricacies and the difficulties around actually maintaining a relationship for however many years. And y'all got an attitude about it. And also, like, why the fuck do you care so much? Like, I don't know, just the energy it takes to be negative about some shit that really ain't got nothing to do with you is wild to me.
That's why Will's the poster boy of you got me fucked up. It's simple and plain. Like, that nigga vulnerable, working through his emotions, standing by his fucking wife because they got a whole nother understanding of how this love shit really work, how this union shit really work. They just on a different type of time. And that's how he's showing up, and he's got to deal with, that nigga always been soft. Y'all remember Parents Just Don't Understand? I'm like, bro, y'all got Will fucked up for real.
Crazy.
And then I guess when it happens to you, this is some college shit. Like this one woman that worked in the radio department at the school. Like, I wanted to be the college radio station DJ so bad. So I was able to get the shit hella fast, but it was like limited until you met this one lady, and I never got to meet her. So I just like stopped doing this shit. I started DJing at the club. That's where I met Morg at. And then she showed up one day, like towards the end of, like, I'm getting ready to fucking graduate. And we got hella cool. She was like, damn, man, that's crazy. I wish we would have met, like, when you first got here, because you're nothing like what they said you were. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck you talking about? She's like, yeah, she was like, yeah, you had hella women and had hella kids. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, that was the running narrative about me the whole time I've been at this motherfucker. The complete opposite of how I was giving it up in school. Like, that was wild. And I was like, oh, well, then if niggas get to just say anything, then you may as well just take life on one. If they get to make up whatever the fuck they want to make up, and it be so far from your truth. It's like, suffering is subjective, but so is abundance. Like, however you want to look at that shit is exactly what it's gonna be. So if that's the type of time you're on, you can understand why the sicknesses and the illnesses of the world are so high, because how many motherfuckers are actually starting at a space of accountability.
Come on.
If this conversation is weird or too tense for anybody, bro, then please just excuse yourself. Cause I need it. I need to be insulated by niggas working like with goals and shit.
I'd be wondering, do girls like understand how much, like, a lot of times I hear women talk about, like, you know, shit ain't Disney and like all the other stuff like around, you know, Disney sold us this idea, but I go, that's what Instagram is. Like, that's what you're all buying into is Disney.
That's a Barbie
all over again. It's people lying to you and presenting a certain way about life that isn't real, but you're so needing of having things look like perfection, whatever it is. and you sell into it and buy into it. Like I had thought about that the other day because all these people's reaction to, I think Jasmine Sanders is a model. Her name is like Golden Barbie or something like that on Instagram. Very beautiful woman. And it was something about her and her boyfriend. And people were like, oh my God, like, I thought you guys weren't together anymore. And I just thought like, if y'all didn't make it, I would never. And I was like, what? Like you have associated whether or not you are going to have a successful relationship with somebody based off of some bitch you ain't never met in your life, and whether or not she is with this nigga, and they both might have 18 other niggas and bitches that you don't even know. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, women, we're promoting Disney. Like, and not just women, men too. It's like y'all, however y'all choose to show up, like you're promoting fake shit.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, we're just gonna make the same mistakes that we've always made. So it's gonna be like, 30, 40, 50 years down the line that folks are gonna be like, about that Instagram time, the same way they talk about Disney now, they're gonna be talking about that Instagram time when folks was out there promoting this, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they're on to the next virtual reality shit that, bro, do you understand how ironic it is for you to be talking about Instagram when you live in a virtual world right now? You in your trailer with virtual goggles on, my nigga, and you talking about Instagram.
Meta.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a world full of hypocrites, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Hypocritical.
I solemnly swear.
Up to no good.
But yeah, with the Will and Jada junk though, but like I don't think folks understand, like, when you have that much communication in your relationship, you would really, like, I don't know what part of the book you know, Money.
He's right. He's in there right now.
Okay,
he,
so like
he just dropped the bomb of why he made the decision he made, and it was the easiest decision ever in life. And was like, of course it was.
Okay, because like if you actually like get the story from the beginning to the end, then you would realize that, for one, Will is a handful. Because he is out there, like because he looks at everything as art, he is a handful for somebody that's trying to be grounded. So they weren't a pair to begin with, you know what I mean? But it was the chemistry was there. There's not the perfect pair combination,
right? So
all their conversations they've had to this point, all of that shit, like the things that the public can possibly say, is it that doesn't even factor into the shit that they've said to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like the toxicity that was involved in two people being in their ego, or being at the peak of their careers and not really fucking with each other at whatever given time, and realizing that you can't make another individual happy. They have to make themselves happy. That's a bar. The public don't understand that shit. The public want other people to make them happy, obviously, because that's the reason why they so caught up in Will and Jada.
Sign a petition. That is crazy.
That petition is nuts. And the fact that people went out of their way to sign a petition, a fictional petition.
That's not going to actually do nothing. I'm
gonna say, how does petitions even work? Like, is this like a
if we get 5,000 signatures, we can, bruh, get the fuck up out of here.
That's like them posts that they be talking about, and how much money you can make if you just click on this. And then you can quit your job today and make $5,000 every hour on the hour if you just click on this link.
I was like, this shit crazy. It was I was watching Patrick Cloud review it. He was like, bro, what? And I was like, oh, this exists.
we can like Pat Cloud, right?
Huh?
I'm asking B.
Shut up. When we're off screen, I'll tell you who we can't like.
Okay. Is it gonna break my heart?
Nah, it's gonna be like, bitch, of course.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I feel like it's the usual suspects.
Okay. Okay.
By the way, Precious had one of the funnier stand-ups on the Laugh Factory.
Thank you.
I love Precious.
Bro.
I love Precious.
And Kamir's podcast is one of my podcasts that I listen to every fucking week.
Precious rebrand is crazy. That's the rebrand we need to be talking about. Precious is killing shit right now.
That was a skill to completely wear a silhouette so you can really get these jokes.
Right.
And she was saying on the podcast that somebody that was there, another comedian, like talked her into it. Like she had the idea and then was like, "No, this is gonna be crazy. I gotta take this off." And they was like, "No, like keep that. Like that's gonna be." And she was like, "And then I killed it."
Hey.
She bodied that. It caught me. So y'all know my YouTube algorithm is Mani. It's gotten worse, but that popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I got time today for Precious." That's my dog, bro. She is so funny.
I really want to run into her out here because she's from Oak Cliff, which is like down the fucking street.
Wow.
And I would love to run into you because I am a huge fan. And you are so ridiculous and I love it.
Oh man. Family. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Our YouTube viewership, keep doing y'all thing. Lex Bubble, we appreciate you, dog. Everybody, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, y'all keep it lit. Simplecast, Castbox, keep tuning in. We're gonna figure out this IG shit too. For real. With that being said, it's been another episode of the Meet the Brave podcast. We will see y'all next week.
Love.
Yes.
Bye.
You had time to figure it out too.
It gets better each time.